Our guest today was sworn in as the 33rd President of the Cook County Board of Commissioners on December 4th, 2006. In 1992, he ran successfully for state representative of the 31st Legislative District. In 2001, our guest today was appointed by Mayor Richard M. Daley to fill the office of the late Alderman Lorraine Dixon. In February 2003, he won re-election to that office. Our guest today is a graduate of St. Ignatius College Prep and Xavier University in New Orleans, Louisiana. He was born and raised on the south side of Chicago in the Chatham-Avalon community where he resides today. He and his wife Janine are the proud parents of their son, Hans Eric, and daughter, Claire. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the City Club of Chicago, the President of the Cook County Board of Commissioners, Todd Stroger. Mr. President.
All right, have some fun. All right. Thank you. Good afternoon. All right, I timed this, so it's like a half an hour or so. So anybody who needs coffee, you better get it now. Thank you to the City Club for hosting this event and for serving our community since 1903 as a venue for the discussion of public policy issues that are important to Chicago area residents. And thank you to the many civic and business leaders here today. Your support for City Club keeps this vital institution strong and helps elevate our public debate and understanding of contemporary local issues. I am honored to be here today. As I reflected on what to say to such an esteemed group, I was reminded of the ancient proverb, "May you live in interesting times." For Cook County government, and for me personally, these are certainly interesting times. And you may have read about it. Just 5 months ago, I took the oath of office to serve as your Cook County Board President. Since then, we've adopted a culture-changing budget, and we have moved on numerous fronts to modernize and reform a government that had grown sluggish and that seemed to have developed a sense of entitlement, more to itself than to those that it served. Change is never easy. It is never without critics, but it's the course to which I am committed. Today, let's take stock of how far we have come these past 5 months. Looking at Cook County government on my inauguration day, it was evident that, from a business perspective, we were a failing enterprise. Our bottom line wasn't doing well. Spending had gone unchecked. Revenue collection was not a priority. We owed vendors and others more money than we were able to pay. Our reserves were depleted. Without an abrupt and radical change in direction, the red ink was bound to catch up with us and to compromise our ability to deliver services. Proportionally, Cook County's fiscal crisis was greater than the statewide crisis that faced Governor Rod Blagojevich as he initially took office. At the same time, voters made it resoundingly clear before last November's election that raising taxes was not a viable option. Our homeowners simply had no tolerance for increased property taxes to finance county government. Today, my government is making the tough decisions. We're dragging the old jalopy known as Cook County into the repair shop for a 21st century makeover. Just 12 weeks after my inauguration, despite inheriting a $500 million deficit, we adopted a balanced budget that maintains critical services while honoring our commitment to hold the line on taxes. There was, of course, no way to please everyone while working under the handicap of a 17% budget deficit. As most of you know, that was the scope of our budget challenge. And the context for the significant spending cuts we ultimately imposed on ourselves as a way to start tackling a long-term structural deficit. As board president, I serve Cook County in a manner similar to that of a CEO of a $3 billion corporation. In doing so, I am guided by a vision to bring about improved efficiencies, modernization, and accountability. First, let's examine our progress on professionalizing, on depoliticizing county hiring practices. Even before I took office, I went on record supporting the supplemental Shackman relief order. At the first board meeting I chaired, I was proud to oversee the county board's emergence of that order, which protects rank and file county workers and job seekers from political influence in the hiring and firing process. Also at that first board meeting, I co-sponsored critical reforms to strengthen the county's Office of Inspector General and to support my commitment to zero tolerance of corruption in Cook County government. These reforms gave the Inspector General complete autonomy and unfettered authority to investigate, make determinations, and take corrective action to stamp out illegal activity. And they protect the office from outside influence. Final county board approval of these critical reforms should occur very soon. Second, let's look at the budget. As most of you know, I instructed my department heads and employees to meet a 17% across-the-board reduction in costs as a way to tackle the $500 million deficit that confronted us for this fiscal year. My administration did not create this deficit, but is our historic challenge and opportunity to address this funding shortfall while transforming Cook County government into a more modern, efficient operation. Making this kind of change required hard choices. It forced us to focus on the delivery of truly core missions, particularly in the areas of healthcare and public safety. Third, let's look at our progress on professionalizing operations. From our purchasing processes to our mechanism for posting jobs and recruiting candidates, professionalism is an everyday priority. Procurement is at the heart of the county's day-to-day business operation. Every year, dozens of departments and agencies buy services and products worth hundreds of millions of dollars. These products are then used by our workers in a myriad of ways, from setting broken arms in the Stroger Hospital emergency room to printing birth certificates in the county clerk's office. Among my early priorities has been updating the Cook County Procurement Code, changes that are long overdue. These changes include a requirement that bidders comply with our ethics ordinance, including campaign disclosure requirements and provisions that strictly prohibit the soliciting or receiving of gifts. Our new procurement code improves the competitive bidding process, enhances public oversight of contracts and proposals, and creates the framework for an electronic procurement process that enhances access and transparency for vendors and the public. We recently initiated Phase 1 of the redesigned Purchasing Department website and will launch Phase 2 of this effort later this month. The redesign is part of a larger effort to increase the pool of qualified vendors from which county agencies and departments solicit commodities and services, and to make full use of existing technologies to streamline procedures, improve purchasing efficiencies, and explore appropriate non-tax revenue streams. The response to date has been heartening. Already, scores of vendors have told us how vital our new website tools are in terms of helping them bid competitively and responsibly for county contracts. Among other things, these modernization efforts are expected to foster the growth of small, minority, and women-owned businesses by providing opportunities for business development, vendor education, and support. Fourth, let us look at our progress in the area of increased operational efficiency. There are many examples, both big and small, to report. Since the first of the year, we transitioned Cook County into the deregulated electrical energy market by procuring a new electric supplier for over 14 million square feet of county space, minimizing what would otherwise have been sufficiently increased costs due to higher energy rates. Our industrial engineers are working on efforts to privatize a number of support functions at the Juvenile Detention Center and Stroger Hospital. Common sense changes are expected to cut costs by several $1 million per year. Fifth, we are turning around the long-troubled Juvenile Detention Center. Solving problems at this facility has been a top personal priority of mine, and we have made rapid progress by working with court monitors and policymakers to revamp the management structure, installing new personnel practices, bringing in new leadership, and through legislation in Springfield, shifted control of the agency to the office of the chief judge. The center's young people, their families, and the larger community deserve no less. Six, let's look at our record on community and economic development. My administration is deeply committed to fostering vibrant neighborhoods and strong economies and communities across Cook County. In the modern borderless economy, that means thinking both locally and globally. Last month, for example, I hosted a kickoff event with a trade delegation from Sicily, the beginning of a year-long project of collaboration and enterprise development. Why? Because Italian business leaders identified Cook County as a key U.S. region for a series of trade missions, in part because of our 3-year-old friendship agreement with the province of Palmero, the capital city of the region, and in part because Cook County has been identified as a nation on the program's goals and on the application and reporting process for participants. Thousands of parcels have been acquired by municipalities through the No Cash Bid program, and our initiative is designed to further strengthen this program. We expect this redevelopment tool to serve as a real boost for towns and villages looking for creative ways to promote economic development. In tandem with our economic development efforts and to build a strong housing infrastructure that enhances the livability of our neighborhoods, we plan to roll out a new affordable housing program for adult job training and placement, over $5 million for displaced workers, and over $4 million for youth who will be served by literally dozens of providers. Eligible candidates receive a host of services that include job readiness training, resume writing, interview techniques, job searches, and job placement. Eligible clients are also encouraged to continue their education or to train for new careers through our approved training provider network. While POET principally targets at-risk youth, ex-offenders, veterans, and low-income residents, anyone interested in our services is welcome to visit one of our 5 one-stop centers throughout Southern and Western Cook County for an orientation. POET is also committed to fostering an effective and efficient service delivery system, progress in terms of environmental responsibility. My administration is committed to embracing policies that are environmentally responsible. Later this month, I look forward to announcing our participation in a project with other counties throughout the country to reduce greenhouse gases. My administration has already saved millions of dollars off the energy bills of Cook County government by aggressively encouraging the use of lower-cost lighting and heating technologies. The administration's commitment to environmental responsibility extends to construction projects as well. The Cook County Highway Department has taken the lead in creating a multi-agency task force that is exploring innovative new technologies for road building, recycled tire rubber, and our paving process. Illinois produces over 10 million old tires each year, and many of these are improperly or even illegally handled contracts. That includes 80 million in projects scheduled for the 2007 season, and 330 million in projects for the 4-year period between 2006 and 2010. Thanks to the effort of Cook County, our partners in this county-led task force, including the state of Illinois and the city of Chicago, are now embracing a road building technology that we helped refine and bring to the Midwest. Over the long term, our initiative will help pave the way, literally, for more environmentally friendly approaches to road building. The indigent of Cook County is one of the government's greatest and most costly responsibilities, and has long been an area in dire need of streamlining and structural improvement. To tackle systematic problems in our public health care system, we have embarked on an ambitious program of reorganization and restructuring designed to deploy new efficiencies, all while maintaining the highest standards of medical care for the patients who depend on us for service. It's a formidable undertaking, and one that is desperately needed, including Rush Medical Center, St. Anthony Hospital, the University of Chicago Medical Center, and public hospitals outside our region with strong financial systems. Vendors to put in place a new super bill system to ensure we collect those subsidies and insurance dollars that are due to us. An area that desperately requires due diligence, and that because of past neglect, caused Cook County government to forego tens of millions of dollars each year in billable funds. Improve services at the ambulatory screening clinic, particularly health advocates and clerical staff, and ensure that productivity and revenue data is accurate and up to date. Perhaps one of the most important and challenging components of our system is our pharmacy operation. an operation that filled over 4.6 million prescriptions last year through mail order and 6 pharmacy operations at Stroger, Core, Fannis, Provident, and Oak Forest, with 14 pharmacists and 100, with these contractors typically taking 35% of the savings as a fee. Between 2002 and 2006, this effort produced net savings of $2 million per year. Now, this recovery work is being done by our own pharmacy staff, and we expect to more than double our savings to $4.8 million in 2007 through this effort. These savings will help finance improvements to our pharmacy robotics program and bring pharmacy staffing levels up to industry standards, which raise serious privacy concerns for inmates. The entire 10,000 detainee campus, which is currently managed by an antiquated paper-based system. We have taken strong steps to revamp our pathological operations throughout our healthcare system by implementing a new laboratory model in February and bringing on a new medical director and administrative director to steward this process. We created overlapping shifts, reduced operating hours where viable, established competitive wage packages for healthcare providers, and move aggressively to fill vacant positions. The center provided $20 million in highly specialized medical care to patients last year. We are now looking at strategies to ensure that Cook County is compensated for care that it provides to residents who hail from other counties government. The question looms about whether he is sincere about doing that. In his first month, Stroger should attack patronage, take aim at the Juvenile Temporary Detention Center, name an inspector general, begin reform. Stroger should party the responsibility for cleaning up the mess, the editorial stated. And that editorial forward to our continued collaboration to achieve openness, accountability, and reform. Recently, I reread an editorial that appeared on the heels of my election. In that editorial, a newspaper vowed to hold my feet to the fire on a number of its priorities. The editorial stated, quote, "By electing Todd Stroger president of the Cook County Board, voters handed him and the Democratic Party the responsibility for cleaning up the mess that is county government. The question looms about whether he is sincere about doing that. In his first month, Stroger should attack patronage, take aim at the Juvenile Temporary Detention Center, name an inspector general, begin reforms at the Bureau of Health. As a first step, he said he would consolidate agencies at Stroger Hospital, Providence Hospital, and the county's other hospital and clinics." That editorial went on to say, quote, "There is also one thing Stroger should not do, and that is raise taxes. The county is in a financial bind, but there's plenty of evidence that waste can and should be eliminated before anyone even thinks about a tax increase." The editorial concluded, quote, "We will be watching him closely." Well, I hope that people have been watching. Perhaps they'll recognize some of the progress that we have made. Perhaps soon you might even read about some of the ways that we have transformed this government. I am grateful for this opportunity to report on our progress to date, and I look forward to completing the task of making this government fully modern, efficient, and transparent. Thank you.
What's in it for the black people? Let's show it. What's in it for the black people? You know it. What's in it for the black people? Let's show it. For the black people. 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 For the black people, for the black people, for the black people, for the black people, for the black people,
What's in it for the black people?
You are listening to the most dangerous show. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Todd Stroger, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Maze said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah. Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts. Mayor Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gon' sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. When you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, that's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And I'm concealed carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Wake up, Chicago. Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. On this week 304 Wednesday. We in the building, Riis. Uh-oh.
On the next episode, right?
Uh-oh. It's on to look at you trying to do your thing, huh? We are on to the next episode. Let me hear you say, hey. It's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis, the ruler. Once again, going into the archives. I'm on my archive stuff. Riis, it was, you see, he was almost unrecognizable there. Right? Like,
I take another text. Look at that.
Shout out to our man. Today in the movie archives, we went back to Todd Stroger. 5 months after he was elected president of the Cook County Board. If I'm correct, he was elected president of the Cook County Board, but not a commissioner. Because Bill with the deep voice, you know, he was the budget chair. William Beavers was his protector, right? Beavers used to go to the meetings and be like, "You a beard." He would go off. He would snap. He was Todd's muscle, and then they arrested him. Hey y'all, it is the Maze Jackson Show. But do you see Todd? Hey man, you used to see Todd. Todd used to have an entourage.
Like he used to have, like he used to get in the car, like he'd come outside and they had a car and the people be standing by the door and Todd. No, I'm just joking. But Todd, man, back in you see Todd had his goatee on, right? You see he was like swaggerlicious. He was like, you know, in the first 3 years before you realize it's gonna be a re-election, Todd and his squad, you know Todd them didn't give me no job though, right? You know I was poor and broken, and I went over there, they promised me a job, and then Brian Mullen's brother kicked me to the curb.
And you can remember.
Sean, how I mean I got names.
You can remember so.
Nah, Riis, it's like this, Joe. It's like you know when they be like, yeah, we got you. I was like on my back at the time. And then Todd said he's gonna give me a job. And so they took me to lunch. I was rolling with the crew. I was all in the SUV, the whole thing. And then he just played me and played me and played me. So I was just for a minute. See, man, that's my problem, Riis. I don't never, even when people do me wrong, I be trying to do them. Oh, speaking of do me wrong, we doing Petty Maze today. 8:30 today, we doing Petty Maze. I got a Petty Maze moment, and I got to find out if I'm petty or if I'm crazy. Oh, Riis. It is a week 304 Wednesday. And we are in the building doing our Thug Thistle. Don't tell me to take my hood off. I'll put my hood on if I want to. Now, I'm putting it back on, see? That's you want to know how to get me to do something? The quickest way to get me to do something? Tell me I can't do it. Now, back onto the hood. Y'all don't want to see my face anyway. Why y'all care about what I look like? Anyway, it's the Maze Jackson Show. It's too hot in the hood, so I'm going to stop. I did think it was fresh in the beginning to be like, wake up. Yeah, I'll be like, it's the Maze Jackson Show. 6:28. That's really not the truth. It's really 6:32. That clock be losing time or something, Riis. I don't know what's going on with it. But it's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis the Ruler. I hope y'all enjoyed the archival video today. It was our good friend, Todd Stroger. Let me do this, though. Let me say what's up to my man in the building, DJ Riis the Ruler. DJ Riis the Ruler. How you feeling today on this week 304 Wednesday?
Blessed about the best. You already know the rest. I'm going to go hang with some repubs later on today, man.
What?
Don't tell nobody, yo.
You just told everybody.
Oh, man. My bad. I thought it was just us.
It's just us, though. Yeah, my bad. You know, they be sneaking in, they be. So you going to the, so I'm just going to tell you. Yeah, the ops going to be there, too. Right? You know, it's like, so this is all I'm going to say, Riis. I'm not going. But I do, hey man, I'm just telling you, when the mouth of the South start talking crazy about Maze Jackson, boy, I'm gonna get a report on who was laughing and who felt comfortable.
I don't even stay. Listen, man, I'm the type of person, man, the moment they start talking about people, that's when you know what I'm saying, man, I exit myself. I don't even want to be like, yeah, man, you know, Riis was there. I don't even want to. I just go ahead. But I'm I'm definitely wearing my What's in it for the black people.
Uh-oh.
Hoodie. Oh, you know, man. You know me. I'm definitely wearing my What's in it for the black people hoodie. So
look,
they may know, you know, like, don't say nothing around him because he got that, you know, that man, that hoodie.
You know,
on.
People be feeling swaggy, man.
Yeah.
They be like, let me talk crazy about dude. But anyway, all right, well, Riis, you have a good time, man. See, while you around here getting invites to events, man, first of all, how you come to my joint? How do people come to my joint and take stuff? Like, I feel like people should be coming here arriving. I'm having Petty Maze today. Petty Maze today. No, I'm doing Petty Maze at 8:30. At 8:30, Petty Maze is doing Petty Maze. I'm doing Petty Maze today.
Gotta leave it yesterday,
No. I'm doing Petty Maze at 8:30. Now, I have it in the universe. I won't say who, what, where, how, but we are doing Petty Maze today because I got to know if I'm just petty. Because I could be just Riis. I don't like nobody opening my newspaper. I will buy 2 newspapers. But you know, my thing is, it's like, Yeah, we're going to do Petty Maze at 8:30. So tune in at 8:30 because we're going to have a pet.
But you know how you say, like, mi casa, su casa. You know, you don't do that. You don't say mi casa, su casa.
No, this is what I say. I say if I do you a solid, like, first of all, I give to everybody. Like, the only reason you at Sukasa is for your own, like, that don't help me. That don't do me no solid. That ain't nothing for, nothing in that for me.
Y'all call in at 8:30 and talk to him so we could miss the 8:30 Petty Maze.
And Petty Maze, 8:30. Petty Maze. I gotta find out if I'm petty or if I'm just like I feel like, man. I felt the way all day yesterday too. All day. I was like, did what? Hold on. And I ain't gonna even tell you. See now. And then the funny part is, always be people like, oh no, what? It's okay though. We gonna do Petty Maze today at 8:30. Cause I always make deposits in everybody else's account, which makes everybody feel like they should just
deposit made afterwards.
That no. See, that's the whole thing. Like my time, like Femo, like my time. Like I feel like that's like the butterfly effect. See, you making me do Petty Maze at 8. At 6, you almost made me get away from it, but now you're making me be Petty Maze. So, 7 days a week. 7 days a week I work, and usually it is for someone else. If I have my plan laid out, where I could have me 20 minutes so I don't have to go to the store. Giving me money to go to the store is not really my issue. Like, it's not what I can afford. It is what
It's the time.
It's time and it's mine. Like, I just never could understand how, like, and I feel petty, but then I'll be like, that just isn't how I'm cut. And it's like, when you are always, like, I'm like, fam, I'm doing you a solid right now. This whole thing is a solid. Petty Maze. I'll be like, now if I was to be like, no. So by being a good person, I gotta go do the extra. I gotta go be inconvenienced. I'm just saying. I have to work to help. And I it's just like, and it always be like, oh, no. Petty Maze. Then when I be like, you know what? This is exactly why. You supposed to come in the door with something. Like you right? You talking about me? We gonna talk about this. See? And I laid out the game plan. Only person who heard me was Harold E.K. Williams. Remember when Richard whatchamajigam came here and it was breakfast? We had shrimp, we had everything. Right?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, he came.
Right?
Yeah,
like, and we like, dude, you bring the ops. I'm getting cursed out. And I take a L. It's okay, Riis. It's all right. Petty Maze at 8 o'clock, 8:30. 8:30, Petty Maze. Petty Maze. It's a whole segment. I think I'm gonna start just doing Petty Maze because I got one good petty. Like, we should just make that a segment, just like Uber Eats, Riis. See, Riis, you missing one on that one though, dog. You really are. Like, you should write that up once a week, and like, instead of the news traffic, you should just be like, y'all, hold up. Let me tell you what happened to me. I was Uber eating the other day. I'm telling you, that could be an Emmy-winning segment. By the way, we're going to try and win some Emmys this year for the morning show, because I be looking around like, hold on, you got one? We're going to have to put something on our stand. But y'all don't want to. That's okay, because y'all don't want no Emmys. Y'all just want Petty Maze. That's okay. It's the Maze Jackson. I'm going to make Petty Maze an Emmy award-winning series. 2, since Riis don't want to do Uber Eats. All right, it's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man DJ Riis the Ruler, who is blessed by the best. Let's take the soul plane up to 60,000 feet. We are up and away. All right, y'all. Real quick, did we print out the things? I showed them print out. Could you print out the script? All right, y'all. We didn't even go get the scripts today. We was around here talking crazy. Shout out to Teresa, State Representative Teresa Ma. I don't know if you know. That's why today's show is entitled Asian Power. State Representative Teresa Ma just told the mayor she will not be playing games with her. Riis, I also want you to find out why you wanna play games on me. Why you wanna play? Why you wanna play? You don't know that song? You gotta look it up. Whose song is that? Because we gonna talk about that. That is for the 7 o'clock hour. Because Teresa Ma says she will not be part of the mayor's games. There will be, Riis, she says she taking the $50 million in funding out for the Chinatown school, near South School, until they get till the mayor takes people more seriously. Riis, it's a lot of shenanigans going on right now, and I think the mayor is really starting to reap her sowing. Let's do this though. Let's take a quick break. Right, Chucky Booker. Let's take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're gonna finish the headlines and then get to the social media question of the day. Riis says, "You found why you want to play, Chucky Booker." Go ahead, go ahead. Let's go out to that, and then you can come back to it too. Oh no, you got to come back to Church Chicago. You got to be listening, Riis. Oh, see, Riis don't got the catalog, y'all. See, he ain't got the mental Rolodex. Like when I'm thinking about this, cause you know, Teresa Ma said she ain't gonna play no games. So Riis, you got to be looking for the hot R&B songs off the keyword off the song. Right? Then you be like, why you want to play? Why you want to play? Save it and just go out to the break, and then we'll come back and we'll play that during the 7 o'clock hour. It's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis the Rule on the ones and twos. That's Chucky Booker, y'all. Why you want to play? Teresa Ma said, nah, Madam Mayor, you will not be playing no games with me. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. We'll be back after these messages.
If I couldn't buy you something, now you've got your share, and look who's paying.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
Jurassic World Live Tour. 65 million years in the making. See Jurassic World's most iconic dinosaurs. T-Rex, Blue the Raptor, Triceratops, and more roar to life with epic thrills and heart-pounding adventure. The feeling is real. Experience it live. Jurassic World Live Tour. Coming to Allstate Arena November 3rd through 6th. Free parking for all ticket holders. Visit JurassicWorldLiveTour.com today.
Sesame Street Live, make your magic. Experience the fun. Join Elmo, Abby, and friends on an amazing journey filled with surprises and spectacular illusions. Discover the magic in everyday life when Sesame Street Live comes to your neighborhood. Coming to Rosemont Theater October 7th through 9th. Tickets on sale now. For show details, visit SesameStreetLive.com.
And now, traffic and weather.
Yo, who said devotion had to be sad? Yo, check this out. The Lord is my shepherd, shall not want. He's making me to lie down in green pastures. He leading me beside the still waters. He restored my soul. God's gonna turn it around.
Come all the way with me.
Good morning. What's in it for the Black People Media family? The time is now 6:44 a.m. I'm Riis the Ruler with your Chicagoland area sports, traffic, and weather update. As we head over to sports, the Chicago Cubs will beat the Phillies 2-1 as the Sox get shut out 4-0 against the Twins. Preseason hockey, the Blackhawks lose 4-1 to the St. Louis Blues. Set over the traffic on the Kennedy. O'Hare to the Loop will be 38 minutes. Outbound to O'Hare will be 24. On the Edens, Deerfield to the Exchange is 43. Exchange to Deerfield is 32. On the Eisenhower is 50 minutes. Thorndale to the Loop, 30 minutes back. The Stevenson is 53 minutes. I-355 to the Dan Ryan. Outbound is 32. On the Bishop Ford, I-80 to the Dan Ryan, 49 minutes, 24 minutes to I-80. While the Dan Ryan, there's an accident towards the Loop, so it's 34 minutes to the Loop, but only 11 minutes to 95th. While on DuSable Drive, every direction is locked in at 8 minutes. Today's weather, it is currently 48 and clear. Today will be a high of 59 and a low of 48. I'm Riis the Ruler. Happy Wednesday. It's the Mace Jackson Show.
Listening to the Mace Jackson Show. I'm your host, Mace Jackson. Got my man DJ Riis the Rule on the ones and twos. Y'all, it is a little bit after 6:30, so you know what we do around that time. We welcome the Saints of WBGX. That's right, the Saints of WBGX, 1570 AM to the Mace Jackson Show. Now, they join us every day at 6:30, and they take it all the way to 8 o'clock. 6:30 to 8 every day, Monday through Friday, on 1570 AM. I've come to recognize, y'all, that there is a lot of people. Hey, you can give us a call at 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. Or you can listen to us on the TuneIn app. Now, you can also catch us on Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch from 6 to 9. Now, in the 6 to 9, we be cussing and cursing. Well, from 6 to 6:30 and then all that stuff. But we try to get it all together. Because, you know, we love the Saints at WBGX. And so we try to keep it right. But we want to get y'all closer to the Lord. Shout out to Church Chicago. We need Church Chicago to perform at a kickoff kickback. Had them do breakfast. Can we do breakfast and Bloody Marys with Church Chicago? On one side? Can we have church on one side?
You gotta make sure that it's first Sunday.
Oh, we can do communion.
See how you threw that in there? Yeah.
Yeah, man. All right, well, I'm gonna tell y'all what. It's going down this Sunday at Obsidian, Bears versus Giants. If you want a chance to win tickets to come hang out with us, give me a call, 872-259-7474, 872-259-7474. We're going to be giving away a 3-pair of tickets today to come check us out at Obsidian. This week it's going to be a chili bar. That's right, chili bar, Bloody Marys, Bloody Margaritas. All right, y'all, it is the gospel and alcohol. No, those two do not mix. There will be no drinking before 12. And we will only, for the saints, it will only be the wine of communion. But you got to get that at church and then come to the Bears game after that, all right? It's the Mace Jackson Show. Antonil says that they don't get on the Dan Ryan. Right, because it's blocked from 63rd to Roosevelt. Shooting.
Yeah. I don't know what it was, but on the way, it is backed up from like
63rd.
But I know, but it's actually where it's starting at is right before you can get off at like Roosevelt. You know what I'm saying? So,
get off at Canalport if you can.
Right. So like you can't even
get. It's to swerve around.
Yeah. So that's where it started at. That's where the accident at. You know. So you can't even get there. So if you can get past, if you can get past there and get on to like Roosevelt or something like that. But yeah, like on the way here, I drove past it and it definitely is blocked up really, really, really bad.
And it was not a shooting. So let me get that accident. That curve is kind of crazy, man. Some days, depending on what I had a What's the SRT? The SRT tried to roll up on me now, man. What is with the people with the Dodges? They be like, "Hey, Joe, we not gonna do this. I know you got to charge. I'm okay. I'm gonna stop." Also, hurricane. It's from Category 5. They 1 mile away, down in the southeast, man. Supposed to be down there soon. They had another ribbon cutting for Invest Southwest.
Another one.
And another one. But I want to talk about it again because after the article in Cranes, you know how you see something and you just can't unsee it? It's like, so now every time let me stop. We'll talk about Invest Southwest in a minute. Russia is now beginning the annexation process after voting. But make sure you open up the phone lines, 872-259-7474. Russia begins the annexation of Ukraine. I heard a thing that said if Russia stops fighting, the war ends. If Ukraine stops fighting, Ukraine ends. I was like, dang, that's pretty deep. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken. And they said they was going to use Riis nuclear weapons. And they said we will have devastating consequences. Catastrophic. The United States says if they use nuclear weapons, it will be catastrophic consequences. Now, Riis, I thought we was past the point of using nuclear weapons because I thought everybody knew it was stupid to do because somebody going to launch one and then everybody going to die. It's like, see, but you millennials, you don't remember that stuff. So now y'all done let us get all the way back to y'all people cheering for Russia. All right, Riis, I got my calculator. When you was a kid, did people say calculator or did they say calculator? Calculator. Yeah, calculator. Okay, so Riis, what we say, 5,000 per immigrant, per migrant, times we now, as of Tuesday, have 1,500. Riis, remember when Hector Villagrana called me a racist for asking about how much should we budget for our migrant friends? That was when we had 76. Now it is 7.5 million at 5,000 a pop. Who's making the money? Did you see yesterday that a woman got arrested? Did you see that a woman got arrested yesterday? Hold on, let me make sure that I got that right. I got this from my digital producer. An Arizona woman was arrested for smuggling immigrants across the U.S. border. She was smuggling 80 to 100 immigrants per month and charging $15,000. She reportedly made $7.2 to $9 million in the last 6 months. Here go my thing. If I was J. Mal Green, I would tell the man I get out the race for the bus contract. Like, I think we should send our own buses. There's no reason that the Texas company should be making all the money if we're going to be doing all the welcoming and doing all the paying. Riis, I think that every black landlord with the vacancy should apply for the $5,000 monthly immigrant people. Is that wrong? So, okay, do we agree that somebody is making some money?
It ain't us.
So I'm just saying, somebody is making some money.
They ain't doing it for free. Ain't nobody doing it for free.
Who is going to be the smart black person to say, all right, let me get the bus contract? All right, let me get the housing contract. Like, you know who should, like, I feel like what's this hotel right up here? South Loop Hotel that don't be fully booked should take them, right? I think that's black owned. What's the joint up where, the hotel on 39th? In the restaurant by Pearls?
I ain't never heard of it.
Oh, it's a hotel right there. Joe, all the black hotels should be like, instead of giving these contracts to Burr Ridge, could you imagine if the hotel on Stony Island got $5,000 per person? Per person? By the time those people leave, they could fix them joints up.
Yeah, you're right about that.
No, seriously. Like, somebody black needs to get it. If I'm SCR transportation, I say instead of these vans, I'm going to buy some buses. Should we not make money? Somebody is. And I bet you there's going to be a grant for some social service agencies, right? And it's going to be a RFP for multi-millions. Now, they playing it off right now, saying that it's only for social service agencies, and they're connecting them to social service agencies. But because they're not going to give the money directly to the migrants, they're going to give it to the social service agencies that will then be the pass-through, so that I can't stand on the radio and say, you gave this much money to. See how they do that? But y'all going to be mad at me, though. All right. And the Brett Fraud story. Riis, this Brett Fraud, I want to do it, but I'm going to have to stretch it out. It's going to have to go to another day because I need to spend some time on Brett Fraud. All right. Yep, the Amber Inn. Yep, put him at the Amber Inn. I'm telling you, South Loop Hotel. I promise you. What was the one on all them hotels on 79th? All of them. Who is in on the racket? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Don't tell me somebody calling for the tickets, so they calling to find out what's going on. It's the Maze Jackson Show. What's up, caller? Who this is? Caller?
Caller, you want to start at 8:30 or want to start now? Because I ain't going to call you Petty Maze, my little brother.
8:30. Petty Maze will be in full effect. 8:30.
Hey, you can mention my name. Bob Israel, King Israel. You ain't got to hide it. I had a feeling you was talking about me. I ain't going to call you Petty. I'll call funny acting, but I love you. But, I ain't going to call you Petty.
So I'm going to say.
You're overprotective, and I met people like that. I love you, though. It was your shit. It ain't mine. I understand, but we can wait.
8:30, Petty Maze. 8:30, Petty Maze.
Hey, but Riis, before you go, you can go wear your West End for the black people, man. Tell them Bob Israel sent you.
You ain't going. How you ain't gonna take them? How you gonna send them up there? How you gonna send them up there by yourself?
I ain't sent them.
You plug them and you ain't gonna take them?
Hey, what that gonna be, a 9 o'clock meeting? I'm gonna talk, or you want to talk about that too now? What you want to talk about?
No, I'm gonna say that to 8:30.
I'm saying, so, okay, but I'm talking about this situation y'all talking about now, reading between the lines, because I heard it was a catch fight on the Trump Tower with some people, and your name was mentioned. So I'm telling Riis, being my new mentor or whatever, just say, you got your shirt, you wear whatever you want. Just say Bob Israel sent you. I'm just,
Oh, there you go.
He don't run you out the room. There you go. There you go. King Israel.
There you go. The King Israel is your universal pass. All right, so you call back at 8:30. You call back at 8:30, and we're gonna talk about it. See if I'm petty. All right, it is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man DJ Riis the Ruler. Look, y'all. See, Riis, you can't even be anonymous. See, I had it all. See, I'm going to have it do a whole different way. But I'm glad he called in, because now this is great. We can actually have a conversation. All right, so it's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. I got my man, DJ Riis, the Rule on the ones and twos. Riis, we got a few minutes, so let's do this, because I got through my headlines. Let's do this. Let's hit the button, because I'm ready.
It's time for the social media question of the day.
Riis. The social media question of the day is Invest Southwest about economics, or is it about social media? And I say that because yesterday there was a ceremony to break ground for the Inglewood Culinary Food Hub. Now, the challenge for me with the Inglewood Food Hub is I read the article last week in Crane's magazine. Actually, it was online. And it said, Invest Southwest remains mostly a vision. After 3 years, Mayor Lightfoot's plan to lavish massive amounts of attention and public funds on blighted neighborhood corridors still has a lot to prove. They then go on in this article to lay out that all of the Invest Southwest projects, none of them have been completed. There's not been one of them that's actually started. So, Riis, that story, and remember last week I said I didn't want to say anything because if I say something, then I get cut off I become the bad guy once again. And so I said, I'm going to just let Cranes read the article. Right? And so we let Cranes read the article, and they was like, but mostly nothing has ever happened and blah, 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 blah. So this week, my Cranes article comes. My Cranes actual paper comes. And in the paper, they list all of the Invest Southwest projects and places that the mayor has had groundbreakings, and they say that none of them are done. And here's the whole list. And the list is Auburn, Gresham, Austin, Bronzeville, Inglewood, Humboldt Park, New City, North Lawndale, South Chicago, South Shore. Now, the mayor touts that she's put multiple billions of Invest Southwest into the paper. Into these communities. And so I was trying to understand the discrepancy. And so they said yesterday that the mayor used yesterday as a hard opportunity to push back on the project. Now, Riis, we just was at the Inglewood Music Festival. We just had Alderman Stephanie Coleman on air. I want to be supportive of all of our young aldermen, right? Of our next generation, right? So it's very tough for me to critique anything. It's tough for me to critique what happens in these cases because it sometimes puts me in a precarious position. But we're going to put this we're going to just turn this to the mayor. So if you look at the screen right now, what I have showing you is, Riis, did you know that they built this food hub? You see it? You see that's you see up in the right corner that firehouse? Did you know that they flipped that firehouse? If you were to read this story and you were to hear that they were breaking ground, would you kind of think that this was, and you saw this picture, you would think it was done? Right?
It's not done?
No.
You know what? I guess when you really look at the picture, you can see it's kind of.
But you got to look at how much time you spent. So if I told you that the mayor was having a ground, you think that this $2 million in Inglewood is an investment that's done. You think this project is done. Riis, this project hasn't even been started. So here's now what we got to do. Anytime you see Invest Southwest and ceremony, then you know that it's not real. And so now I'm starting to feel away every time I hear about an Invest Southwest project because there's always a ceremony and a rendering, right? The rendering is what it's going to be if you reelect me. And so now I got to start asking, is Invest Southwest about economics or is it about social media? And the reason I'm asking you is because none of the projects that we've explained, that we've blown up, that we've talked about, that we've been excited about on social media are actually happening. And so I feel like it's like we're getting dry humped. I hate to use that, but these are dry humpings. If none of the Invest Southwest projects have happened, but there are pictures that we take and we have press conferences. So Riis, like the thing that really made me look at this was because they did the press conference in front of a backdrop. So imagine this studio was built courtesy of Invest Southwest. Right? So, okay, so I really hate to do this to myself, but I really do need to do this because essentially, Riis, our studio is built for social media. Did you ever see those movies where it's like when you see a Western town and like when you driving through it like on the movie, it's like it look like a town, but then you realize behind the wall, it's really just a facade. Like, you know, there was a time when everybody's like, y'all moved to the new studios? Oh my God. And I really hate to play myself like this, but I really need this studio is like Invest Southwest. It's like they got banners up. Like, this is what it's gonna be one day. Elect me now. Hey, Riis, the mayor has got a lot of I'm gonnas. I'm about to. You ever, like people who always got a plan, but no outcome? You know your people that always be like, hey man, I'm finna start me a such and such. Man, I'm about to open up my brand new such and such. And they'll never open it up. You be like, dog, what happened to oh man, I started this next thing. Oh, well, wait a minute. Riis.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Give us a call, 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. Am I crazy? Like, I don't know. Riis, okay, so this is why I feel like the mayor is a bit inexperienced. You don't hold groundbreakings before your election. You hold ribbon cuttings. You understand the difference between a groundbreaking and a ribbon cutting? A ribbon cutting is what most elected officials do towards this. That's when you get the benefit of incumbency, right? So what happens if you're a incumbent is you do projects that you know are going to be finishing up right around the time that you're going to be elected. So you notice how so you do a project and you start it 3 years out so that when you're on your election roll, you're saying, look at what I did. Remember, Riis, I kept saying, you got to have something to point to. You got to be able to say, I did this, 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 and this. I am going to tell you, Tracy, I'm going to jump on you. You got to pay attention to what just happened. Like, so the mayor has got us, and she called out the reporter who called it out. Like, you better tell him to come here. If he better report the right news. But what does he report? It's still the same. Nothing's changed. And it's almost like she's very Trump-like. Like, I can imagine that it's here. I can just think that this is going to be here, and you believe me. And I guess she does think that we are like, she could walk out into the middle of downtown Chicago and tell us that the sky is falling and we would believe her. But Riis, if they give you a list, if 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, if you have run around and done done ceremonial groundbreakings at 11 projects, and none of them have started. None.
It's COVID, right?
And then she's done these after COVID. And now you're going to do another one. Does anybody say what happened to the first one? Has that finished? Have you gotten because here's what they do, Riis. They say we're going to allocate the financing, the TIF. But you know what the TIF is? The TIF is basically they say the property values are going to go up. So we're going to freeze the property taxes here, and everything that we freeze, that the extra, we're going to put to the side so that it can go to build infrastructure, etc. It's not them giving you $6 million like people think. It's not that. So essentially they say, all right, we'll put the stuff down around that you need to make it go, but you still got to go find the money. So it's like, again, they say, okay, you want to do a $50 million project, we'll put $6 million towards it in infrastructure, in roads, and lights, and constructions. But, hey, fam, you still got to go to the bank. Now, if you're a black person and you got to go to the bank, what does that mean, Riis? You ain't getting it. So look, how do you keep... Riis, she's having press conferences about this is the future site of. So they put and then the one that they do on 79th, to have a finished one is shipping containers. Now, I don't have, first of all, the new shipping container world is pretty cool. But Riis, to build a shipping container project really requires a bulldozer, some level land, and the shipping containers cost about $3,500 each. So it's like, let me go prop up some, right? And again, I'm going to go award this funding that you may never get because you got to match me. So where you going to get the 12? We giving you 6. Where you going to get the other 6? And so, I feel like Riis, when you look at this picture, the average person, Riis, they not gonna look at that. They're gonna be like, look, she did this. It's not done. It's not even started. Riis, you're supposed to be cutting when you're not supposed to be doing groundbreakings, saying I'm gonna do. You're supposed to be doing that. So if this, Riis, you can go to any vacant lot and put up so if I'm J. Mal Green, I'm going to go get me some banners. I'm going to go put me up a lot, and I'm going to say right here, if I'm mayor, this is going to be the new cultural center for black children. And then I'm going to go find me a vacant lot on the north side and make me an 8x12 banner and say right here, it's going to be. How much gonna be is the mayor doing? Now, I would give you an example, but again, that requires you to have somebody on your campaign squad that's not saying no, that's saying yes. Everything that the mayor is pushing forward is falling forward in the last 3 months, and they are all speculative. We don't even, check this out, fam. We don't even have a guarantee on the casino. Right? So I guess we got to start asking about substance, and I just don't want to get sent off. Look, it's the Maze Jackson Show. Caller, you on the Maze Jackson Show. What you got for me?
Shalom, brother. This is a real topic now. Look, that's a shell game called 3-card Molly, man. I mean, with all the shorty, you're going to bust that 3-card Molly. I know all them people involved with that project. And Zeb, Scott Goodman, the young lady is my friend too, but it's all game, man. They playing game with us, man. And it's sad and it's unfortunate. Like I said, I'm fighting for my grandchildren. They trying to create a new damn generation of front companies and scams, and I'm seeing it. I'm watching it unfold, and I've been kind of quiet the last couple of years, man. But I got to come out. Because we don't. I want to thank God for your show. But if you was down the dial, there'd have been mother to you about this. So I'm glad I'm looking forward to 8:30. He ain't gonna keep mentioning that, but it's game, man. I know construction, man. DJ Riis, I'm looking forward to it. But anyway, man,
they done flipped one of my guys. They done flipped my guys. Reese gonna come back. Reese gonna come back with a "What's in it for the black folks" shirt on. Oh Lord,
they flip them, right? Look. Hey, hold on, I'm trying to avoid it. Listen, Blaze, I heard you yesterday loud and clear. You said the only motherfucker give me a hard time is a Democrat. How are the Republicans the ops? Now you tripping me out. Now you more astute than this, man.
Hey man,
the Republicans is not your ops.
Can I say something? And I'm gonna talk about this a little bit later because that really.
This your show. This your stuff.
Hey,
do me a favor. Say something. This your show. This your show. I don't want to open it. This your show.
No, it's all good. It kind of blew me yesterday though, right? Like, first of all, I gotta tell you. Let's back up. First of all, let me back up. On these projects. On this, and I think we're right. We do get sent off. Like, I looked at this story in the paper, and I actually, Riis and Israel, I thought that this, like, just no BS. I really thought that all of these projects were being finished up. If you pay attention in government, what always happens is this is the way that the incumbent has an advantage is because they've got projects in the pipeline so that when election season comes by, they can just go cut ribbons of projects that they've done and they get free media for it. The mayor is getting free media for shows, for projects that aren't even started yet, right? And so I legitimately thought that this project was finished. Right? Like, I legitimately did. Too, huh? And then, I was like, dang, I got to get over it. And I was like, dang, I wonder why I didn't see that when I went to the Inglewood Music Festival. And then I realized as I look at the picture, and it says it's a rendering. So it means it's not there. It's what it's going to be. And for it to actually happen, beyond the mayor having to be reelected, the people have to get the actual physical bank financing to do the project. And the problem for me is they don't necessarily have it together. And so we're sitting by, and now you're in a holding pattern because if you are in one of these communities, you really hope you can't say anything that it didn't happen, because if she wins, you hope that it does. You hope that she doesn't bite you because you know that the mayor will jam
Bottom
you.
line.
So now everybody that's in this, hold on. So everybody in the game is now held hostage, right? Because if she wins, then you don't want to have said this was a sham, because then she's gonna make you pay. But you also know, like, do you see any of these people standing up, campaigning, running around? This is shenanigans. Go ahead, Israel. Before we go.
That plantation part of the trick that is best. See, a lot of people ain't astute as you and me. So I'm saying they're playing that mind trick. I'm calling out names. Jay Mallory, that damn developer that said all that beautiful thing. Scott Goodman is behind that. And man, it's just a long man. I'm gonna call names out. Everybody, like I say, Stephanie is a friend of mine. I'm gonna meet with her today about something else, trying to help out. But that's game. I'm gonna talk about the one on 47 that you had read the other day. Brian Goldberg, I think you know him. He do all that stuff in the 27 ward. The one on 47 when it first was announced, he like, Bob, the money ain't there. I don't know what the hell the mayor doing. So I'm putting two and two together. She was laying the groundwork, put them down. And I ain't even against the mayor. I ain't against none of them. For the rest, for those in the back, I ain't a Democrat or a damn Republican. And check my D2, the Republicans ain't gave me a dime. So next time I do come anyway, I will bring my own stuff, but I'm going to wait till 8:30. I can't let my grandchildren, I'm glad I can make you laugh.
Petty Bob. Hey, it's Petty Bob. It's Petty Mays and Petty Bob today at 8:30.
King Bob. I'm going to go there as gangster Bob, but I wasn't gangstering nobody. I just thought I was Sue Casa, my Casa. But we're talking 8:30. I thought I was under the impression you was my brother and my friend. But don't worry about it. We're going to talk at 8:30. I'm going to stick to this. Construction shit is deep, man. Man, all them damn things. I thought all them projects was up to 3 years. I'm sorry. Not take no 3 years to do nothing.
You there? Did we lose you? You still there?
No, you ain't losing. I'm trying to let you, man. It take 3 years to do if they're doing a damn groundbreaking. I talked to, like I say, Brian Goldberg, from LG Development. They said they were going to do some cross street from my other office on 47 King Drive with Mark Allen. Maybe that's the piece that they supposed to do something on Pat Dow's area. I'm starting to call people out. Man, that man say, Bob, that money ain't there. I don't know what the hell wrong with City Hall. But he ain't going to go against her. He said Cranes was trying to get him to say something so bogus. He said, Bob, they was trying to make me say something bad about the mayor. So
ain't nobody gonna say nothing because they know there's vindictiveness to go, and you will pay a price for it. But I do think, and I think it's important, right? And as I look at this rendering, and I'm not being funny or anything, that it really does. It shouldn't take that long because it's really just a patio. Now they got to build kitchens and stuff inside. But look at the structure is already there. I got my time with you. All right, so go ahead.
79th Street ain't gonna get built. Hold on. 79th Street ain't gonna get built. I ain't hearing that. What's your boy name? The preacher's son, David Block. I talked to him. What's his son name? He built his thing on 55th. And G&A, he involved Grid. Man, then they better come sit to the table. This thing's the 27th ward where y'all, your people them used to harass me. Bob, this 79th Street. Act like it, man. They ain't doing nothing on 79th. Bob Israel said, King.
All right, so we're gonna talk to Petty Bob back at 8:30. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We got anybody else? All right, let's take a quick break because we did not get to 7 o'clock. Riis, it is the Maze Jackson Show. When we come back, we're gonna talk about this near South High School. Teresa Ma, it's kind of snapped. Hoping he'll talk about why my state rep. I'm not gonna compare. I just want y'all to see and listen and see the difference. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after these messages.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break. Maze Jackson.
Tune in to the Maze Jackson Show every day, Monday through Friday from 6 to 9 a.m., where you can catch us on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook Live. Plus, from 6:30 to 8, you can get us on WBGX 1570 a.m. That's right, it's the Maze Jackson Show, where every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. Maze said, we out of here. Peace.
I'm so glad that the Lord, He keeps on blessing. Y'all, I must say, every day, He's making a way. The city, blessed in the field, even when you come and go. I'm so glad that the Lord keeps on blessing me. Y'all, I must say, in spite of, He just keep on. Yeah, keep on blessing me. Blessing me, in spite of me, He keeps on blessing me, blessing me. I don't deserve it. He keeps on blessing me, blessing me all the time. He keeps on blessing me. You to stop it. Come on and stop it. Do it every day, every hour. Come on and do it. Do it for us now. Somebody in a hospital, somebody down, don't feel too well, but bless us now in the name of Jesus. Oh, please.
The Mays Jackson Show. You are listening to the most dangerous show. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Mays Jackson. Mays Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For the black people, cause economically we are not equal. Waking up to life, can't toast no more. I told y'all, yeah, this is a dangerous show. Don't go to church if you ain't trying to help us. Don't even try to be around and can't protect us. We see the lies, not other politicians. We need money and no symbolism. It's Mays and Riis and Ruthie and Ty, explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools to beat the odds. If we united, our movement gon' stop. If they ain't tryna help us, they ain't tryna do nothing. We gotta do something, we gotta stop running. It's time to confront the problem. Really, you expect you oppressed to solve.
Wake up, Chicago. Wake up, world. This is the Mays Jackson Show. I'm your host, Mays Jackson. I'm your host, Mays Jackson. I'm going to play a little bit from yesterday's press conference at the groundbreaking from our Mayor Lori Lightfoot. And I guess I'm going to go ahead and start with the introduction. Riis, you ready? Let's do it.
Okay, that's going to be hard to follow. Holy cow. It is my pleasure to join you here today representing the Chicago Community Trust. I'm the director of We Rise Together for an Equitable and Just Recovery. And I want to thank all of the partners, and Alderman Coleman, thank you so much for naming so many of the partners. But every single person who has contributed to making this community vision come to life. We Rise Together is a collaborative of philanthropic and private funders dedicated to an equitable economic recovery coming out of the COVID health crisis and the multiple now economic crises. With our grants, we support strengthening Black and Latinx businesses, increasing quality resilient employment, and development of community-led centers like Inglewood Connect. Only by supporting economic well-being will every community thrive. We believe at this moment in time, we need to be all in to bring philanthropic dollars, private sector lending power, and public sector investment to bring community-led transformational hubs to our Black and Latinx neighborhoods. In the last 12 months, We Rise Together has made over $30 million in grants. And we are especially proud to have made grants of more than $12 million in 13 projects in the Invest Southwest corridors. 3 of those 13 projects have already opened their doors to serve community. And we can't wait to see the doors open right here at Inglewood Connect. As a lifelong Chicagoan, I realize the importance of current and sustained investment in our South and West to the Invest Southwest communities.
Is my mother's favorite
commitment. And it is my pleasure to introduce a woman who has never wavered from her vision and her commitment to bring once-in-a-generation investment to the Invest Southwest communities and to neighborhoods throughout our beautiful city. Please welcome Mayor Lori Lightfoot.
I whispered to Alderman Coleman that the text of the Valley of the Dry Bones is my mother's favorite biblical passage. So Thank you so much for that. You took me back to church.
What church
and really,
was
this
that?
is what this feeling is for me today. The public sector cannot bring transformational change to historically disinvested communities alone. We need private and philanthropic partners to step up and do their part. So I'm thankful for the investments that have been made. I've been members of the business community throughout the Invest Southwest corridors. I'm thank you for the philanthropic investments that have been made. In particular, Gloria, the work that you have done has been tremendous, and we look forward to much more. Gloria and the Trust have done exactly that, coordinating with my team every step of the way to ensure that our investment dollars have as large of an impact as possible to stretch those dollars and to make sure that we're doing truly transformative, catalytic work. Not one-off, not one location, but really moving the needle in a significant way, and this is just one example of that work. So I'm thrilled to celebrate another Invest Southwest groundbreaking that will deliver promise of a bright future that is already dawning here in Inglewood.
Note the backdrop.
You heard from Alderwoman Coleman. Thank you, Stephanie, for all the work that you do for your community that you love so dearly. I want to also acknowledge, and you'll hear from them, Department of Planning and Development Commissioner Maurice Cox, who consistently does such incredible work throughout our communities and especially through our Invest Southwest initiative. I want to thank the entire Department of Planning team for the great work that they have done. And Department of Building Commissioner Matt Baudet, whose team is instrumental in making sure that this project and others like it across the city of whom who are gathered here today to foster economic empowerment and transformation in this neighborhood. I also want to say I am so grateful that former Alderwoman Shirley Coleman is here to see the fruits of many of her labors, the seeds that she has planted, the ground that she has tilled coming to fruition. And thank you, Alderwoman, for everything that you've done for this community. Today we are breaking ground on Phase 1 of the Inglewood Connect development, kicking off construction on this historic landmark firehouse to transform it into a culinary center that will offer healthy food options to this community, as well as create a community living room where neighbors can meet and mingle.
Is that like the
Better yet, this project will offer fresh, healthy food year-round by repurposing vacant land with hoop houses to provide year-round farming operations. Sounds like a great plan. In later phases, construction will begin on a business incubator to train startup businesses and help existing businesses to grow. When all is said and done, Inglewood will be the beneficiaries of $13.9 million in investment, including $6 million from city funding, which I'll talk about more later. As you heard, this 19,000 square foot development will include an eco-food hub, a community gathering space, event spaces, and a business incubator. Here, neighbors will gather and connect, and local businesses will continue to thrive and grow. Among the sleek and modern designs, the fencing around this project was designed by Isaiah thought poet Vinay. Are you here? Come on up, man. You can't hide in the back. This is your moment.
You got the
Isaiah is a Southside artist who was recommended for this project by the Inglewood Arts Collective.
Shout out to Isaiah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is his first public art commission, hopefully not his last. So let me say congratulations to you, Isaiah, and thank you for lending your talents to your community. Blessings and thank you. This captures an important component of Invest Southwest. We want local community members to have a hand in designing and shaping all of these Invest Southwest developments. This project is also creating, as you heard, 70 construction jobs and upwards of 47 permanent jobs for Inglewood residents. Let me say that again, for Inglewood residents to take advantage of. Inglewood Connect was made possible, as I mentioned, by a $6 million assist from the city after this proposal was selected as the winning Invest Southwest proposal last year for this site. Like all Invest Southwest projects, in order to get to this day, there are several rounds of community engagement, garnering input and feedback from residents, here to ensure that this project actually meets the needs of this community. We don't come in and tell you what we think should happen. We come in with a humble heart, a listening ear, and we engage. And
Who is the we? Humble heart, we listen and we engage.
And listen to the community stakeholders to ask, what will it take for you? What do you want to make sure that we are doing to help support investment? So I am thankful for all of the community members who participated in the various and months-long, in many instances, community listening sessions so that we would get it right for you. Inglewood Connect is not the only city-supported development to come to this community, as you well know. This fall, we expect a great breakdown on Thrive Inglewood, another city-supported site that will bring over 100 units of affordable housing to the 63rd Street corridor adjacent to Inglewood Connect. Further, the city is conducting streetscapes and viaduct renovations a few blocks away on Halsted. We also elevated the Inglewood Trail for a federal Riis grant that was recently awarded $25 million in funding. Excited about the Inglewood Trail. I think it's going to be a remarkable game changer for this community. And finally, through the city's Community Development Grant Program, we are supporting the E.G. Wood Business Incubator. These developments and enhancements have taken together will ensure that Inglewood residents have a community. And these investments are critically important to make sure that Inglewood residents can reclaim their own narrative and garner more support from private, philanthropic, and of course, city investment. Invest Southwest projects are procuring cranes in the sky across not just Inglewood, but all 10 Invest Southwest neighborhoods. And you don't have to take my word for it. Thanks to this initiative, 4400 Grove development is now open in Bronzeville and includes the acclaimed Bronzeville Winery on its ground floor. If you haven't been there, you should go, but be patient because the reservations are sold out for many weeks in advance, and that's a great thing. Right down the block, of our residents that are desperately needed in the Auburn-Gresham community. And of course, let me remind you of the Go Green on Racine Fresh Market, which opened earlier this year in Inglewood. Thank you for that tremendous asset. Southwest neighborhoods, and they are now bringing visible change to commercial corridors across the south and west sides. Because Invest Southwest projects are all designed to be catalytic. This is surely the bright beginning of our south and west sides' bright future. Every day, leading up to this ribbon cutting and others, the city will continue to work with development teams to ensure that the visions of the community that are being led by these development and construction teams actually comes to life. Now, folks, there are many out there who are skeptical, who think that we're not actually doing something. And someone actually had the audacity to say and write, Invest Southwest, interesting vision, but not materializing. I'm going to invite that writer to come to this community. I'm going to invite him to come to Auburn-Gresham, to Bronzeville, because if you sit down on Michigan Avenue and you write something, you better know what you're talking about. Because we are seeing tangible, concrete evidence that Invest Southwest is changing the fortunes of communities that have been disinvested in for far too long. So if you're going to talk about it, you better know about it. Come out to this community and tell them that it doesn't mean anything, that we aren't doing anything. The truth is far different, and you all know that. We will continue to work hard to make sure, as we've said, I almost called you the pastor, but I'm going to say Derek Warren said, breathing new life into the communities that deserve it the most. Deserve it the most. You know, on the north side, we take advantage of amenities that we just believe should be there. Going to grocery stores, going to pharmacies, not worrying about the things that...
Buying it? Riis, she told the dude to come here, and there's nothing there. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. I want to head over to, if anybody is over on 79th, because she told the writer to come there, can somebody go take a picture of what we're going to go see? Because, again, this is a groundbreaking, so there's nothing there. Okay, caller, you on the Mace Jackson Show. Maybe I'm wrong, and please correct me if I'm wrong. Like, if I am wrong, and if there are defenders of Invest Southwest, please do call me and let me know what I'm missing. Go ahead, caller, you on the Mace Jackson Show.
Yo, what's going on, bro? What's up, family? What's going on, Riis? Hey, man, I'm just a little confused now. All right. So when everybody talks about the community being a partner, is the community really a stakeholder in these types of projects? Because I thought the word grant means, you got to pay it back and all of this stuff.
No, grant means it's free money. Grant is free money.
Oh, it's free money?
Grants are free money. You don't have to pay back.
Oh, okay. Well, all right then. Why aren't do we not have any cranes or bulldozers? Like, what is the barrier to getting these 13 projects kicked off? Like, are there not enough workers? And where's the misalignment with what the black contractor groups want and these discussions with the city? Is the president of the black contractors, is he involved in these types of discussions? Are the black money people, are they involved with this stuff? Or, cause it just seems to be that like a lot of babble, bro. And, I'm sure we could build a 10-story project. So I'm just trying to figure out what the disconnect is, because it just doesn't, like you said, by this time there should be ribbon cuttings. It should be things opening. So, like somebody in the chat said, you could just build a whole bunch of Culver's chilies and, Raising Cane's, and the black community would be cool because, we just want stuff to do and participate in. So it doesn't take a lot of resources to make a food hall or something like that, man. It just seems to be that, is this stuff in the budget? I'm just all over the place.
Yes.
Because the math ain't mathing for me, bro.
Right.
The math ain't mathing.
The math, there it is. And I think that's it. The math is not mathing, right? The reality, no, seriously, I think that's it right there. The fact of the matter is, these projects, so the city can grant you TIF money, they can grant you, but you have to come with your own money. So the reality is, the reason that these projects aren't going is because they got to go to a bank. So the city says, I'll give you $6 million to build something here, but then you got to go but they don't give you hard cash. They give you infrastructure money. They give you underlying money. You still got to go to a bank and sell the project. And so the bank is going to say, I feel you that you got $6 million from the city, but why do we want to invest in a food hub, a food hall on 79th when we don't feel that the community has come back? But the mayor needs to have the press conference. So she says, I'll give you the money. Now you go find it. Now, if I tell you you're going to get $6 million, can I tell you what, fam? You're going to tell me I'm taking the $6 million and I'll work backwards from there. And so essentially, Froy is hitting it right. A lot of the projects, and if you recall, when we read the original article, they said a lot of these projects developers don't necessarily want to do, but they are forced to do them because they are politically wise investments. It was just like I was talking to go ahead.
No, and that's the problem. So in the press conference, I think it was the mayor, she was talking that, this is what the community wants and all of this. And again, that's the misalignment. I believe that in the black community, there needs to be an additional collaborative funding mechanism that the people in the community can actually put their ones and twos together and get these things funded, because that's what they want to invest in. You can't just Otherwise, I didn't really even want that anyway. And that's what it's going to turn into. I didn't want that anyway. Or the developer, I didn't want to do that anyway. So, it like I said, man, it's just frustrating and that's why I always say, bro, do we own these cranes and do we own these front end loaders? Because it's like with this construction stuff, man, it just goes around and around, and I just need to see it mapped out because it never works the way that it's supposed to. And do we have a trophy that we can say do it like this? Because when they wanted to do Lincoln Yards, they sure do it. They sure can do that.
That's because.
So you mean to tell me you can't build?
No. Yes. Look, the reality is. Let me stop this call right here. The fact of the matter is, these aren't necessarily viable projects, right? The projects that the developers want to do, they go do. The Invest Southwest project is, I'm going to give you the money to try and push you into doing something in these blighted areas, right? Regina, yes, the money has been allocated from the city, but it ain't allocated from the bank, right? The project, again, when you get $6 million, even when you get $3 million, you get the money maybe to build, but not to sustain. So again, when you see these projects in these villages going up, again, Ron was leveraging creating these malls and creating these things and leveraging the whole city against the local store. That's why you see all of these places after their subsidies and their TIF and everything runs out, they pull out. I am not against forcing investment into the South and West sides. And I think that on its face, it looks good. However, I don't think that oftentimes government people, having worked with developers, government people don't care about profitability, or they try to front end the profitability, which makes it go, but then it doesn't stay viable, right? So I don't debate that there is going to be money allocated for all of these projects. But the problem is, and again, if you talk to the developers, it's not that it's even a setup as a scam. They still have to put the proper financing together to make a project that is really only making sense because of government subsidies, makes sense to a bank who is going to say what happens after the subsidy. Yes, we can put up, we do have black people that own cranes and construction, but they don't want to build that. They want to go build in the downtown or build in the large construction projects that are going to be financially viable forever, right? We are taking, again, the subsidized programs. I'm not suggesting that there's not an opportunity there, but essentially what Southwest does is kind of like pay people to invest in neighborhoods, but do they have the complete package to make it be successful? You got to come up with the money, though. So if I give you $6 million, that's a $6 million problem, right? It is, unless you got somebody that's going to help you get the money. Look, I'm not against investing in the South or West sides. But if you tell me that there's 11 projects that you say are hardcore Invest Southwest, you're trying to bait and switch me. If it's like my man said, if it's close to, but it ain't the project, it ain't the project. The reality is, government, if you're going to build a project, the government has to make it where it's viable. So either you got to give them some more density so that they can get more units to make it make more sense. But again, trying to make a business person do social service is never really a win. That's what these projects seem to be. So they give you the money. The Invest Southwest is the same thing as Rahm Emanuel forcing companies to build on the south and west side and then giving them city incentives. Now, the difference between Rahm and the mayor is Ron would tell you, I ain't going to let you get nothing nowhere else in the city if you don't keep that one. He would have never, ever let these stores close. That just shows that these companies ain't sweating the mayor like that. All right, y'all, it's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. I want to talk about Asian power real quick. Not real quick. I don't know if you all saw the Sun-Times headline, but the headline on the Sun-Times today was lawmaker to block $50 million funding for Near South School. Then when you go to page 18, and it's funny because I just ran into State Rep Ma last week at the Speaker's fundraiser. State Representative Teresa Ma has said that she is going to block $50 million in funding for the Near South High School. Now, there's a lesson here that Hope talked about, but instead of, again, me providing conjecture, what I'm going to do is I am going to read this article, okay? I'm going to just read it out loud. It's titled, I'm opposed to Near South High School plan. Here's why. By State Rep Teresa Ma. As a story in Tuesday's Chicago Sun-Times noted, I secured $50 million in state funding for the proposed new Chicago public school Near South High School. And I have long been committed to assisting community members in their decades-long effort to get a high school built. But that does not mean that I am in agreement with the current CPS proposal to build a school on Chicago Housing Authority land on the site of the former Harold Ickes homes. In fact, I am deeply opposed. From the moment I became aware that the site was being considered, I cautioned the leaders at CPS and the mayor's office that the plan was divisive and that there were a number of reasons discussions should not move forward to include that location. Primary among my concerns was the proximity to existing schools, whose decline in enrollment would be accelerated, a concern that was also cited in a confidential internal memo by CPS officials, but ignored by Mayor Lori Lightfoot and the CPS leadership as they pressed forward with this plan. I also expressed my objection to the dynamic that would set up in which it would appear as though the Chinatown community were in favor of taking away land previously promised as a site for affordable housing for former CHA residents. This could not be further from the truth. If the mayor and CPS truly listened to the community members, they would understand that it is possible for advocates to be for a new high school, but not to support their currently proposed site. Community members have long sought a high school to serve Chinatown, Bridgeport, and South Loop communities. This area has seen tremendous population growth, a significant portion of that due to new immigration from China. The need for a new school is not simply about having one in close proximity, although it is an important consideration given students that have shown a disproportionate number of students commuting long distances to attend high school. A troubling push without real dialogue. The more urgent need, however, is to have a school that provides the bilingual staffing and language supports for English learners who make up a significant portion of the area's population. A new school that truly serves this community has to have robust bilingual or dual language programming and cultural competency to communicate with these immigrant families to help them thrive. The way in which the mayor and CPS are pushing forward this current controversial and problematic proposal is troubling. There has not been meaningful community engagement with open public meetings and true dialogue. Instead, only manufactured consent at meetings staged by CPS with stakeholders of their own choosing. Requests for good faith research into several alternative sites, including a location in the 78 and another parcel of land already owned by the city of Chicago, have gone ignored. What has become clear is that this project has been seized upon by the mayor as a desperate attempt to an election year win, a feather in her cap at the expense of community members who did not ask to be pawns in her game. She is touting a new high school in a location that would harm existing schools and potentially accelerate their closure. She is promising returning CHA residents that they will have a new school when she could be investing in existing nearby schools. She is using funds earmarked, check this out, she is using funds earmarked to serve the Chinese immigrant community to justify her efforts when the current proposal only pits minority communities against one another. Sound like Brett Favre to me. She and her allies are suggesting that any opposition to this proposed site amounts to fostering racism and segregation, and when in fact the description more aptly fits her actions. Uh-oh. Wait a minute, let me read that again. She and her allies, Klonsky, are suggesting that any opposition to this proposed site amounts to fostering racism and segregation, when in fact that description more aptly fits her actions. Sound familiar? I refuse to be a pawn in the mayor's game, and I refuse to allow my constituents to be used in that fashion. Consequently, I am withholding the $50 million in state dollars from this project until I can be assured of the authentic community engagement and good faith consideration of other sites. I hope that CPS will withdraw their current proposal for the 24th and Prairie State Street site until a more acceptable plan can be developed. Signed, State Rep Teresa Ma, Illinois' 2nd District. Riis, did you hear that?
Unfortunately, yeah.
That was an Asian power flex. And Teresa Ma called out. So first of all, let me back up and say I ran into State Representative Teresa Ma last week I actually ran into her at 2 locations. I ran into her at Jay Hoffman's fundraiser, and then I ran into her at Speaker Welch's fundraiser. Both times very cordial. We had a great conversation. I was asking her, was she the new leader of the Asian caucus? And she said no, just in the House. But she said that they were set to double their membership. And so we had a great conversation. And it's funny because another one of those examples where the only people who be tripping on me are the people who can use it to their advantage. So Teresa Ma, we had a great conversation. We talked about the rise of Asian representation, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But now here I see Teresa Ma saying all of the things in the paper that I don't think I could ever imagine anybody doing for us. I don't think that we've ever really seen, not really ever, I think it's a precarious, let me not back up. I think, first of all, I'd like to get your reaction to it. So she said, and she also indicated that she has already talked to the Speaker of the House and the governor. She called on the governor to not release the funds, and she's got the commitment of the Speaker of the House to take this $50 million out of the budget, i.e., make the money go away until you give me what I want. Now, I got to be honest with you. Were this Rahm Emanuel, this would have never happened. Were this Mayor Daley, this would have never happened. And probably if State Representative Ma had not taken this position, I probably would have accused her of taking disenfranchising black people. But here I sit today, and let me thank everybody from WBGX. And if you want to continue this conversation, join us on 1570 AM. Join us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. And here today, I stand in salute of State Representative Teresa Ma for being willing to speak up for black people when maybe not a lot of other people would have. Is that a fair assumption? Let me tell you, I think there's a driving factor, though. I do think that Representative Ma is sensitive, Riis. And I think the Chinatown community is sensitive to the perception. There is a dynamic that exists between blacks and Asians in our community. Do we agree with that or no?
You said there's a what?
There is a peculiar relationships that exist between blacks and Asians in the black community. If you think about the beauty supply stores, if you think about if you think about the relationship, it is a skewed relationship, i.e., the Asian community is often profiteers from black neighborhoods, right? Like if you think about nail shops, if you think about food, if you think about hair care products, etc. And somewhere, I won't say it's economic, but I think that there are challenges in the black community with the Asian community that in some way, shape, or form are based in truth. And I think that Representative Ma recognizes that a situation like this can exacerbate the claims of racial bigotry, right? Because I think that, again, Riis, if I was to be talking against this school, right, no doubt there would be people that would say, I am racist. If I say that there shouldn't be a Chinese high school until we get to black schools, there are people who would turn me into a racist for that. Ma jumped on top of that in advance. Because the fact of the matter is we know that there are existing tensions. Now my question is, how does the mayor know it? Because you know what? The mayor is going to give you Invest Southwest while then killing your high schools. Oh, but you got the annex. Like, understand, like, here's the thing. I don't think that Mays Jackson is used to counting and reading politicians. I think for my entire life, I have watched as state reps, state senators, aldermen, elected officials do as they are told. And now it's like I love it and hate it at the same time. Because the order of things, the way that I knew things got done, aren't getting done that way. Think about the gravity of a state representative telling the mayor of Chicago, I'm going to cut $50 million away from your new school. Now, the other thing I got to talk about that Tennille threw out here is, in Bolingbrook, I can't imagine anybody fighting about a new high school. They'd be like, bring it. We need it. But that's because everybody would have access to that school. The reason that we're the fact that we have to fight against bringing a new state-of-the-art high school into the city of Chicago because we know that it is built on segregation and it is being planned that way. You look at those boundaries that they put, and it is because they don't want their kids to go to school. She said it don't got to go on 24th and State, and she said she ain't even tripping on how far it is. So so let me ask a question. If there was a conversation that said, there's a way to give us a school without taking out Dunbar, DuSable, Tilden, and what was the other one? DuSable, Tilden, and Phillips. And somebody said, no, let's kill them. Who was in that meeting? Who was the people that said that the other schools were expendable? Because right here in the paper, Ma is now threatening. So at the expense of Chinatown, her constituency, because guess what, Riis? I got a feeling they don't want these problems. Chinatown does not want these problems. They do not. Nobody wants to wake up and be having all the black people protesting, talking about y'all stole our schools, y'all killed us, and you were part of the disenfranchisement. Riis, is happening already. Wise investors.
But it is sad that, and you are right if you were to say something, they highlighted.
Think about it. She headed off at the pass. Right? Like Riis, if anybody else but the Asian person says, she could have called me a racist for saying, protect the black kids. You're going to kill 3 schools to make 1. 3 historic black schools. At the same time, Riis, that they gave you a new annex. Now, there's some more I want to talk about.
How the 3 schools doing?
Huh?
How are the 3 schools doing?
I think terrible.
So, do you think it's beneficial if they close down 3 schools and make 1 collectively good school?
They're not going to do that.
So they're going to close down 3 schools and only going to?
No, they're going to starve 3 schools. They're not going to close them. They're going to keep them open, and then they're going to keep starving them and starving them and starving them and starving them. And then it's like you waste away. That's what they're going to do. They're not going to close it. They can't close the school. So they're going to give you the dog and pony show, and they're going to give you a new annex at Phillips while they trying to undercut their student base.
Got you.
But you can't say, it's like, I didn't do it, you did it to yourself. But if I put a power plant that sucks up all the water from the area and you drown, you die of thirst. But my tree over here growing. And it's easy for me to say, your students didn't want to learn no way. It's the Maze Jackson Show. But I want to talk about the other dynamics that are playing out in this. Because I was just thinking about, if she said that she has the commitment of the Speaker of the House not to get the money, even though the mayor is proceeding, it means that the Speaker of the House, and she said she went to the governor who won't allocate the funds. Riis, that means I don't know that we can expect the endorsement of the mayor from the governor.
You don't think that a JB gonna endorse the mayor? Mm-mm. I mean, they in commercials together already. I mean, they kind of
right, yeah, but they don't want to be. Trust me, neither one of them want to be in the commercials together. Your boys did the commercials. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll take a quick break because then I want to break down the kind of what is going on. All right, it's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after these messages.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
Hey, Chicagoland, all roads lead to Solo Beauty Supply, the largest black-owned beauty supply in Chicago. We carry a large selection of natural hair care products, plus much more. So come see us at one of our two. That's right, 2 locations. Located at 9011 South Ashland or 8158 South Cottage Grove. Our inventory is growing, and with your support, Solo Beauty will continue to be a source of pride in our community.
You ever blame yourself for some shit you didn't do? Carry the weight for love, kept it moving, ain't never look back. 'Cause I see the bigger picture of being a victim. No, things get hard, you gotta be strong, I've been right there with you. So live your whole truth and be your whole you. Yeah, they can talk behind your back, but they can't hold you. I don't keep my drama or my feelings in a bottle. Take a shot, no drama, just want you to know what I know. It don't last forever, promise it gets better. You've been through the biggest storm, but you can change the weather. Been under pressure, you know my name. Whenever the heat comes, I put out the flame. It made me a diamond. It made me a diamond. It made me a diamond. You know my name. Smoker pushing on the gas. Hey, I've been moving in the fast lane. Don't be looking in the past, 'cause when you're looking, you get past. Don't get it twisted, I ain't forget. You know I've been through a whole bunch of this shit, 'cause I put a line on that clock 'cause I'm big. Can't nobody question I'm legit. I've been on the move, 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 move. Move, make it do what it do. Ain't got nothing to prove. Redefining the cool, hey. I don't keep my drama or my feelings in a bottle. Take a shot, no drama, just want you to know what I know. It don't last forever, promise it gets better. You've been through the biggest storm, but you can change the weather. Been under pressure, you know my name. Whenever the heat comes, I put out the flame. It made me a diamond. It made me a diamond. It made me a diamond. You know my name. Sparkle, sparkle. Sparkle, sparkle. Sparkle, sparkle. Sparkle, sparkle. Focus on your mission and get to your bag. Get to your bag. Push through the issues you got. And they see you get it, your haters get mad. Focus on your mission and get to your bag. Get to your bag. Push through the issues you got.
Back to the Maze Jackson Show. You are listening to the most dangerous show. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Todd Stroger, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Maze said. Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah.
Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had internet naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gon' sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let this give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And up the seal carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this is a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System the milk is so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System the milk is so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Wake up, Chicago. Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis, the rule on the ones and twos. And let's give us a call, 872-259-7474. Freud, you like Freud. First of all, Froylan Nunez. Are you allowed? Are y'all allowed? I thought, I hope you wasn't signing none of them letters talking about I'm anti. All right, Freud. Damn, Freud, I see you. You're a conspiracy theorist. You and my online producer, my digital producer, y'all think that this is a setup. See, somebody is telling me that this could be, oh my God, a setup for the new mayoral candidate. Y'all think this is a setup for Chuy Garcia to enter to the race, Riis? So think about this.
I really don't think he's running for real.
You don't?
Nah.
So here's me. She said she talked to the speaker, who said he will commit to not putting it in the next fiscal budget. I think she said that the governor wasn't going to support it. Now, Riis, when's the last time we seen this gang get together? When it was time to oust Robin Kelly. Speaker, governor, out goes the black woman, person of color. Now, imagine if you could take the speaker, the governor, and an Asian. So you got a black man, a white man, an Asian woman, and they take out the black woman for who? The Latino man. Now, I got all types of conspiracy theories running through my head. But the other thing that I would also say that the mayor cannot count on, the other person that you got to think about as it relates to the mayor in Springfield, and if it was me, I would probably be doing this. I would not let her get $50 million because guess what else, Riis? One of my colleagues, if I'm the Speaker of the House and the governor and Cam Buckner is running for mayor, he's the chairman of the Black Caucus, and if he doesn't win, I still got to deal with him and I got to get votes. Whether it's the speaker, whether it's the governor, or whether it's Teresa Ma as she tries to get these things done. So I would tell you that the mayor, and I'm going to take this one step further. Riis, we're not getting a casino until after this election. There's not going to be a game. Riis, why if I am the governor the speaker, do I let the mayor claim the victory on the casino if I don't know she's going to be there? And I got one of my guys running who just walked the plank for me in voting for Lisa Hernandez again, or not voting for, but encouraging the support or endorsing Lisa Hernandez. Riis. Now put the Invest Southwest back into perspective. Do you think that the state General Assembly gives the mayor the ability to do what she did with Invest Southwest with the casino? You know, you ain't heard nothing about the casino.
Well, I think that's best anyway. Don't you think the next mayor should really dictate the casino?
Well, I think we found this what's going to happen by default. So here's the thing, Riis. If I'm Mayor Lightfoot, I want the approval of the gambling license. Like, I want the governor to call a special session.
Oh, and say that you got that.
You got this, so I can go back into the season. So I can go to Christmas and be like, yo, we about to be opening up the casino. I can start giving away the contracts. I just honestly think you gotta watch all of the playing dynamics. But the reality is, and you gotta remember, Cam already blocked her from getting the multi-million, because remember the guy was trying to get the $1 billion approved without state approval to build the one central over by the Soldier Field that now looks like crazy because the Bears ain't gonna be there. But if left to the mayor, if Cam wouldn't have blocked it, she would have had a couple $1 billion allocated in the budget to build a one central by Soldier Field that is now leaving. So if it's me, Riis, I could see two plays. One, Freud says that she's doing it for Chewy, right? Freud, I think, is suggesting that Theresa Ma is doing this as a precursor to make sure that the mayor does not get to claim the Asian community, which is the largest growing immigrant community. Wham! So now that door is shut. Now just remember, though, yesterday, and then this is the other thing that is setting up. Who is the most powerful Asian? Who will emerge as the Asian leader? Right? So I would tell you that for a long time, there was a commissioner over at the MWRD that prided herself on being the only Asian elected official. Then she went around dissing, she really worked hard against my wife and all that good stuff, but that's a whole nother thing. Then you see, as the caucus grows, Theresa Ma, who beat Eddie Acevedo's son, to take the spot that was created for her in Chinatown as they were conceding to the Asian community. Theresa Ma as the state rep, who then starts to run candidates in the Asian community to start to get them to be successful. So now you got, yesterday in the paper, we saw Susan Lee, who is the alderman, advocating for the Chinatown school. But she's new, and she's got to run for re-election. So now what we got to see is who will be emerge as the Asian spokesperson. I think Theresa Ma just put a big stake down. Because if she can block $50 million, I don't know that any other Asian got the juice to do that right now. So what we've got to pay attention to is an emerging Asian caucus, and somebody needs to be smart enough in the Black caucus to befriend the Asian caucus, because you got a sympathizer right now. All right. So now if you're Mayor Lightfoot, you were planning to go stand at 24th and State on the land of former CHA residents as black people were screaming out, crying, talking about y'all kicked us to the curb. to stand up and claim the fastest growing community. Because remember, you done been moved out of there anyway. And the people that she's appealing to in that area have nothing to do with blackness, because y'all got y'all food court on 79th. And y'all got y'all annex at Phillips. And I'm going to kill Phillips in 4 years. But that'll be for the next election cycle, where I'll be able to stand on this site of this school where I've been, where I should be doing ribbon cuttings, I'm doing groundbreakings. But now what you all have got to pay attention to is, what does this mean for the mayor going forward? I would tell you that the mayor can pretty much, as soon as this election is over, she can pretty much count out getting any state help, and J.B. Pritzker will turn a cold shoulder to her. See, right now, JB got all y'all buzzing around talking about the black stuff, so you got to get past that. Right? He can't whack 2 black women before the election. But Riis, who are the mayor's champions? You're right, TT. It's a rendering of a food court. It's gonna be there though. So do y'all understand what just happened right now? So Theresa Ma, who Froy is saying is doing for Chewy, regardless of, I would say she could be doing it for Chewy, she could be doing it for Cam, she could be doing it for her own self. She could be doing it to establish that she is the power player. Because Susan Lee, as a new alderman, don't really even got a vote. If I tell you you can pick, and right now, like, to me, I also see it as a power play to Chinese leadership. If it was me, Riis. If it was me, I would hold up the $50 million, and then I would be like, hey, yo, you know I'm holding up this $50 million. Call your alderman. Oh, your alderman can't get it done for you? You want your school? Tell Alderman Lee to call me. Matter of fact, tell Alderman Dow to call me. Did y'all just see that power play just happen? Now, here's the questions you've got to ask. Who are the negotiators? Because the mayor told us that we came to a consent. And I'm going to tell you, when I first looked at this story, I was suspecting. So the points I said was, they said, Theresa Ma said she wants a stronger good faith effort. What the hell is a stronger good faith effort? And she wants to make sure that the community's concerns are taken more seriously. Well, what does that mean? Those are very vague and ambiguous terms. But then, who is the outreach to, Riis? Because if the outreach is to the former residents, they don't live there no more. Right? Have you been on like the old Ickey's land and the old Robert Taylor's land? Like when you leave here and you drive down State Street, it's empty. They building new houses. They're building not high rises, short bodies. So realistically, when they build this new school, CHA residents won't be there. They're almost all gone anyway. And the CHA residents that are over there are starting to move in from Chinatown. So my question is, who are the stakeholders? Who determines them? And who gives them the right to negotiate? And when do they say okay? Because realistically, Riis, at this point, anybody can show up black and be like, I'm a stakeholder, and I can pick you and say, Mays agrees. So do we have designated negotiators or self-appointed? And what are the goals or the desired outcomes of the location? Now, I'm going to tell you like this. If I come from Bolingbrook. I think it's almost ludicrous that we have to argue we're arguing against education. Think about the gravity of that. Like, we are arguing against having a new school, state-of-the-art school, because if you build it now, it's state-of-the-art, right? Because we know as black people that we're not entitled to the same education. And that's why we're upset with that school. We can make every excuse, but what we are really essentially upset about is that we know that even as they continue to undereducate our children, the enemy, they gonna build a state-of-the-art facility that we could drive by and not touch. And then they gonna tell you you should be happy with the annex at Phillips, as you have Northside Prep that this school now becomes the top school in the city on the south side within 2 years, 3 years. Everybody's trying to get there. And it's another example of what we cannot participate in our city. And that is the real frustration with the new school. Because I can't imagine in any community where they would be fighting to stop a school. But it's racism in Chicago is so powerful that even the victims of racism justify it. Like, you know how in the King of New York, he said, a dime bag in the park don't get sold in the park if I don't get in the... Like, my premise is build all the schools because we in that bad boy. But here's what we know. What we know is we will be systemically excluded. Okay, you got a new high school, 50, 25, 25, 25, 25. 25% black, 25% white, 25%. Oh, you can't make it up with the white people? Oh, you'll make it up because it's white folks that's down there. But my question, the other part is, who does that for us? Like, knowing that 3 black schools are going to go. Or should they just go? Because part of this is, do we accept New Chicago and then start to say our role in it and define ourselves under the new playing field, which I do think is something that we need to consider. Like, if we know that we got underperforming, failing schools in our neighborhoods, do we start to reconfigure the plan, or do we say, nah, the old way was and this is what it is? Like, when they built the new Bolingbrook High School and turned my high school into a middle school, I wasn't mad. I was like, look at our field, Joe.
Yeah, that's progress though.
But the problem is, Riis, we don't get to participate in the progress in Chicago. We get moved. Right? They give you a Section 8 voucher. They get you off the land. Right? In Bolingbrook, like, now, some people would say that that's not always the best because it's changed the dynamic and, because... But I just think about how crazy it is that when I lived on the Southwest Side, we fought to build a new high school, state of the art. And everybody in the community wanted it. And now, in the place that we once occupied, there probably would have been a dream to have a new high school. Like, if you think about what when the black people was there, if they would have said, we building a new state-of-the-art high school, we going to knock Dunbar down, but it's going to be state-of-the-art. When we come back, guess what? I don't think black people would have been mad back then. But now it's like, you're going to build it after we gone. and then tell us we can't come. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. What's up, caller? Caller, you on the main.
Hello? Yeah.
Hello?
I thought it was 8:30. This is Israel.
Oh, it's not 8, man. See, we'll call you back, man. It's the Maze Jackson Show. What else you got out there, right? Like, y'all got to think about these schools, man. You got to think about, we are like, I feel like we are on a destructive path. And it's like everybody else can see it. Like, to me, Teresa Mott, whether it is political, and all of it is political, was able to articulate that the asteroid is coming. Let's go to the you ain't got nobody else on the line. Let's take a quick break, and then we come back. I'll decide if I'm gonna do Petty Maze or not. But it's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after these messages. Matter of fact, we probably will do Petty Maze since he want to make me be petty. We'll be back after these messages. We'll be back.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break. Maze Jackson.
Tune in to the Maze Jackson Show every day, Monday through Friday from 6 to 9 a.m., where you can catch us on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook Live. Plus, from 6:30 to 8, you can get us on WBGX 1570 AM. That's right, it's the Maze Jackson Show, where every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them, Maze said. We out of here. Peace.
And now, traffic and weather.
I love being black. Do you love being black? Yeah, I love being black. For my people all across the globe.
The skin of men.
Good morning. What's in it for the Black People Media family? The time is now 8:36 a.m. I'm Riis the Ruler with your Chicagoland area traffic and weather report. It's bagged up on the Kennedy, so O'Hare to the Loop is an hour and 20. Outbound is 51 minutes. On the Edens, Deerfield to the Exchange, the hour and 12. Exchange to Deerfield will be an hour and 7 minutes. Eisenhower, hour and 7 minutes to the Loop. Back out to Thorndale will be 52 minutes. On the Stevenson, from I-355 to the Dan Ryan will be an hour and 10. Outbound is 34 minutes. While the Bishop Ford is 42 minutes. I-80 to the Dan Ryan, 33 minutes to I-80. The Dan Ryan cleared up a little bit, so it's 26 minutes toward the Loop and 11 minutes still to 95th. While on DuSable Drive South, 17 minutes, 55th to Jackson, but 8 minutes, Jackson to 55th. As an accident on the north side, Randolph to Bryn Mawr will be 8 minutes, but Bryn Mawr to Randolph will be 30 minutes. Today's weather, it is currently 48 and partly cloudy. Today will be a high of 59 with a low of 48. I'm Riis the Ruler. Happy Wednesday. It's the Maze Jackson Show.
Turning up, I love being black. Say it loud, man, I love being black. One more time, I love being black. Hey, hey, hey. Well, how about you to sing these tunes too? Customize for you a little something you can grow to. Feeling good about yourself, melanated, mood muse. Always service humble pie. We don't care about who's who. Light brown or dark skin, this right here's for you too. We are the gods of the earth, living proof truth. Say it loud if you black and proud. I salute you, and that's a fact. Let me hear you say it back. I love being black. We turning up. I love being black. Say it loud. Man, I love being black. One more time. I love being black. Hey, hey, hey.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis the Ruler. Let me say a couple things real quick, and then I'm going to move on. I forgot that there's another Easter egg in this. So, also in the story, there was a couple lines in the story about the South Loop, or excuse me, the Near South High School. And it jumped out to me because today the board is set to approve the sale of the land for $10.3 million. I want to say the J&J Auto, right? So that land is being sold. That would have been dirt a while ago, Riis. for $10.3 million.
What?
Correct. Now, hidden inside of the story, after yesterday finding out that Fritz Kagi and Tony Preckwinkle want to cancel the kids' Christmas. That's right, kids. They don't want you to get no presents. It turns out that the land that's the city is buying for $10.3 million, Riis, was undervalued by the assessor at $1.3 million. So they get a $9 million tax break on top of it. Right? So that $10 million, the assessor says that the property that CPS is about to buy for $10.3 million is only worth $1.3 million.
So why are they buying so high?
Because that is how white liberals cheat government. They do it in ways that you and I don't see. When they asked the assessor's office, there was no response. But again, no one can explain the discrepancy. Now, if that was Joe Barrios, then you would call that a hookup. Right? So you telling me at 24th and State that you assessed land for $1.3 million that they are now selling for 10? But that to me is the mayoral hookup. And if I had a research team, then I'd be saying, dag, that's the player hookup. But you know, that's when you would call reform. He would tout that they got reform. Explain that formula. That formula is the same formula that they used for the United Center when the United Center got a $100 million tax break during COVID. But that's okay. Y'all gonna keep paying. Keep paying. All right, y'all. It's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. It's time for, since he just gonna make me do it. It's what? Huh? Oh, it's a real call? Let me take the call. Caller, you're on the Maze Jackson Show. And Petty Bob, you can call back. Or excuse me, King Israel, you can call back. Because we're going to do Petty. I'll let you tell your version first if you like. But let's go to the live line. Call you on the Maze Jackson Show.
Shalom. Shalom.
What up, Jake? And here's my disclaimer. The thoughts and opinions of Jacob Israel are those of Jacob Israel, not the Maze Jackson Morning Show. Brother Jake from the H. What up, dog? How you feeling?
I'm blessed. Hey, check it out, though, bro. Why is you love we being black people. Why none of the so-called black people took a stand like she did? And from what you read, she said that affordable housing for the people that kicked out of the Ickies should get that particular land, and there's other options, other places. Why is the so-called black alderman or councilman or whoever, why didn't they take a stand? You know what I mean? So she she like, yo, you know what I mean? There's other places that we could go. You know what I mean? The people that was living there or low affordable houses should be put on that particular land. From what you read, that's what I heard. I don't know if they got nothing to do with no Tui or none of this like that. More than likely, she was like, yo, you know what I mean? They getting bread from us anyway. And it is set up, you know, wasn't nobody so-called black talking about it. Like, you know, these people, it was a private community that got kicked out. And then the other school, she said it affect the other schools. She said, why ain't no so-called black saying that, bro?
Jake?
Yes, it could be state-of-the-art school, this and that. Why didn't none of us stand it? And the unperforming schools, you know what I mean? The parents, it's a mess, man. The city is, I don't know what's going on with the city.
Jake, I mean, I'm saying, like, that's why I do the morning show. Like, fam, like, that's my point. Like, why I gotta do I need to go to get Teresa Mott to be our advocate? Right? Like, wow. Think about, like, Jake, it's part of the reason I do the show, and it's part of the reason I'm about to stop doing the show. Right? Because it's like, It's okay to be black. It's okay to be like, and then she called their ass out. She was like, and y'all gonna call us racist for saying it. But you are actually, like, the racist calling you a racist. Right? That's what's going to happen. Because what would have happened was they would have rounded up a bunch of white, angry, purple, orange, green hair people and every caucus and would have called anybody black who said, man, what about black kids, racist and a xenophobe? And they would have said that we were hating Asians.
No, they can say that because what she laid out. The fact is, there was that community was a community that always was there, who got kicked out, and they should be, that land should be allocated to affordable housing for them, which is just a fact. That ain't got nothing to do with no racial stuff. That's just a fact, though. All right, man. Shalom.
Shalom. Look at that. Jake did a call without getting us in trouble. Look at that. It's the Maze Jackson show. Yeah, y'all not gonna get my pressure up. Y'all have me up here talking about it, then everybody gonna be mad at me because y'all got y'all food court. A picture of it. Excuse me. A picture of the food court. They just made a $10.3 million cash purchase. You got a picture of a food court. But I'm through. Because I got to go back to being Petty Maze. Petty Maze. Did my friend call back? Okay, let's open up the phone lines, and I'll let our dear friend King Israel elaborate on his version of Petty Maze. Riis, open up the phone lines. Is that King Israel on the line?
Yes, sir. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, King Israel. So you sent a preemptive strike on the Petty Maze. So I'm gonna let you tell your version of the story. Go ahead, brother King Israel.
My version is I listen to you faithfully every day, whether you know it or not. I transferred from the other station down there, Melanie. I'm gonna say names, Melanie and Lake Pony Station. And this morning I heard you, and it sounded like something that you didn't say no name. You said you're gonna keep it anonymous. I said, I wonder if it's the same thing that happened yesterday. So I just say let's get it started today. Early. Let's get it off our chest and move forward. You got bigger fish to fry.
Okay, go ahead. So break it down.
I was feeling the same way after your reaction. Usually when I go to people's place, especially if they live in the booth, I don't disturb them. And I say usually, and I come in the receptionist, somebody say, you want some coffee or water? And I sit down and enjoy the festivities, the show. So I was sitting there, and I didn't see no water or no coffee. But I saw some beef. I said, okay, I don't think my brother and his cocktail was mine. I just took a sip of tea. And I did that and sat down. And then all hell broke loose, World War III, when you came out of the studio. And I'm going to leave it there.
Okay. So I'll break it down from my perspective, dear brother. Yesterday, we had Maze Jackson was doing a solid for a dear brother of mine, right? And so when a dear brother of mine reached out to me and said, hey, man, can you bring on someone that probably doesn't necessarily agree with your audience, but would be a great perspective? As I try to do with all of my dear brothers, I obliged. In the meantime, while obliging, we don't provide coffee. We don't provide tea for the morning show. I buy it myself. I bring it every day. No, I don't provide. So check it out. So I don't provide coffee, and I didn't know that I was having guests. Right now, at the same time, let me get. As we talk about how we build in rapport and relationships, I do a solid. So as the premise goes, I would think that somewhere in the universe, instead of a withdrawal being made, a deposit would be made. But that's okay. I'm going to let that be. Now, what I often think is that when people come to places, you don't necessarily know. And so if you don't know, you make the presumption. Bring that down some for me, Riis. Bring that down some for me. And you don't hang up. Just bring it down. I don't want to hear it. You can bring it back up when I finish my part of the story. So, every day, once every week, I give everything that I have to black people, whether it is the morning show, whether it is Friday night, whether it's Saturday night, whatever it is. And I really have to budget my time. Every other week, I go shopping, right? and I shop for 2 weeks so that I don't have to go to the store every week because I have time constraints. And money is not really the issue for me. It's generally the time constraint that it does. So a lot of times people have things laid out, measured, put out a certain way because that is what they do, right? They know what it is you don't. So yesterday, while I was not prepared to provide coffee to water, I actually did not know I was having additional guests. When I went into the studio, when I came out of the studio, I found that one of the products that I had already counted in my inventory for this coming week had been opened. Right? Now, for me, I just am a different person. Remember I told y'all, if I'll buy 2 newspapers just so you don't crack mine, right? It's mine. And I don't think it makes me any less of a brother. So yesterday I come out of the studio and my brother has now, who I did not expect, did not know that I was entertaining, has now gone in the office, behind the counter, on the shelf, taking something off the shelf that was clearly delineated for something else, opened it, drank it, and then when I say, damn, how you just opening my stuff without talking to me about it, then I become the anti-brother. Now, never minding the fact that I have opened the door and I have said, here, family, you bring your people, place, thing, whatever. He should be paying me. He should be advertising. But because it's you, I'm going to do you a solid. In my space, if I put something down, regardless of who's there, I expect it to be where it is when I came back. It is no less brotherly of me. And quite frankly, for me, it oftentimes becomes one of those things like, what else do I got to give? What else do I have to give? And if the premise is you could pay for it, like I would have thought you would have brought breakfast for your guest and us. Not I gotta be out of something and then to give me like I'm being petty because I gotta go to the store. Right? I have a plan for what's in my office. Period, point blank. Perishable or not. And if I don't have juice and coffee, I don't have juice and coffee. If it's on my shelf, I expect that it stays on my shelf. Now, I don't know if that is incorrect and that is unbrotherly, but I would feel like mi casa su casa is me bringing this white boy in here that has absolutely nothing for me in an effort to make sure that I do solid by my people. And to walk out of my space where every day I come here, every day I look, every day I got an inventory, I write a sheet down and says, this is what we got to do, this is at the store, to assume that I don't have any plan for that. Okay, so I just feel as though you ask, and even if I'm busy, then you gotta wait until I'm done. Not this is what I want. It's your shit, and I'm gonna take it, and I'll ask for forgiveness later, cause that's just not how I operate. That's my petty Maze. Now, am I being petty?
Maze.
Go ahead.
No, Maze. Let me tell you something. First of all, I ain't gonna call her secretary. Whatever she is, you've been planning this forever. I don't know how you didn't know that white man was not coming to your office.
Hold on. Stop. I'm not here to entertain.
Damn, I let you go,
Femo, but I'm gonna stop this right now. I knew it was going, and I decided that we were gonna do it because I was like, why the hell would I have the Republicans come on when they've never spent a dollar? And I eventually said, yes, I'm gonna do it because of you. I could care less about that.
First of all, you said, listen, Maze, let's go back and forth, Maze. First of all, you said you didn't know he was coming Tuesday morning. That's your people's problem. They said Tuesday.
No. I said I didn't know I was having another guest. I knew he was coming. I wasn't trying to prepare for him. I wasn't trying to make donuts and
Real talk, real talk. I wasn't trying to come down there either, because you can check all the D2s. I ain't got a dime from a Republican ever. Trump, Ronna, and all of them. You ain't do me no side. I thought I was doing you side. It's just a misunderstanding, family member. I wasn't even trying to come down there either. He was a grown white man. He wasn't nervous about coming down there. I say, since he something happened triggered me, so let me meet him down there. Because I was trying to get another one down there, Salvi. But then, like I say, that man and all these Republicans telling me and some other guys, something privately, y'all want to do this for the black people, what's in it for the black people, and what's in it for the black folks. I mean, hold on, come tell the public that. Just like we confronted that chump Giuliani. That Mark, I ain't getting no money from none of them chumps. I just said, hey, man, let's do a debate. I ain't even know the little Irish white boy. Man, we was standing right there that's running against him. I try to, I ain't gonna say Indian or whatever you be saying, but you're my man's man, so I just I don't give a hell about the Democratic Party. I do this shit for free right now. F them, the whole party. Not the damn candidates, how they did your wife, how they did David Moore, how they did that damn other boy that ran against Tony Creco. It's 4 people they totally disrespected. And you know what I'm saying? And how they, man, it's just, I don't like abusive relationships. I heard one day y'all called in, you people, yeah, they be pimping the community, pimping. I ain't never been a hoe, and I ain't never been a pimp, but I am something. I ain't gonna go too far on this phone, but hey, it was a big misunderstanding yesterday. You're right. You didn't think I was coming, and then I don't care anywhere I go. I didn't think it would be a problem to just get a sip of juice. I did not want to knock on your door. But anyway, moving forward, anything I come to your event, so I don't care if it's Old City or whatever. I'm bringing my own shit, no problem. Because I don't eat what certain people think. I don't drink with certain people. I don't even drink alcohol no more. So the king is on something. So it's all love. It's all love, family.
Okay.
I got bigger fish to fry. I'm listening.
Okay, so
I'm all ears.
And
fuck both parties, be honest with you.
And here goes my thing. I give to people all the time. All the time. Not just you, right? And it's everybody. And so again, like you see it as you. I see it as you and the 3,000 other people that are always can justify and rationalize, right? And it all adds up, fam. It just all adds up, and it's like you'll take it personal and be like, yo, it's bigger fish to fry. And I think this is my Petty Mays moment, and I really wasn't gonna bring you into it. I was just gonna talk.
I woke up this morning.
Hold on. So you brought. Hold on.
So I called you earlier. I think you talking about me. You said you're gonna remain anonymous. I'm calling names out now, man. I ain't got to sit up having fight for my grandbaby. That two just went to high school. I know how expensive it is to go to high school. I ain't got a dime from nobody, man. Trust me. So I'm just trying to destroy the Democratic Party nationwide.
Family, and in your process of doing that.
My process, right. And tell Riis he can go to the event that they say Bob Israel sent you. Do not mention your name.
But excuse me, King Israel. You should say King Israel sent
you. Hey man,
right?
call me what you want. Just don't call me late for dinner.
Famo. So this is me, right?
It's all love, family. Like I said, when you had dreadlocks, somebody told me to do something. I didn't do it. I looked in your eye. I said, that's a good guy right there. Ain't gonna do nothing when you do. He's a staff on the lane. I've been watching you for a long time, but you didn't even know.
Israel.
No, I never do that. Disrespectful to you.
Israel. Famo.
Never.
Famo. And so that's why we're having the Petty Mays conversation, right? I've been
right. So don't say Petty Bob. Bob, it wasn't me. But I was sorry. I apologize to you for opening your juice. It was never happening again. But see, I learned my mama from somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? I
Wait. Let me say this, man. And you brought the mama thing into it. My mom, I again, in my mind, maybe it's incorrect.
No, let the audience decide. Let the audience decide. Bob was made.
Hold on. So let's stop. Let me finish. So let me tell the story. So here's the deal.
Let the audience decide.
Let's let the audience decide. So
you're gonna be blood forever. Whether you like it or not.
Yesterday, during the when we had the Republican guy here, after he left, there was on my shelf here in the studio in the office, we have a kitchen / a storage shelf. On the storage shelf was unopened cranberry juice. While we were on air, my guest, who I did not know I had a guest, decided to open the juice and drink the juice. Now, am I angry? No. Is that true? Is that what happened?
No, you ain't. You acted I call that acting funny. You thought acting funny.
I acted like, damn, I came
I
outside.
never thought you said it. I never thought you said it. I never thought you said it. You said that this morning. I think he's talking about me.
I think it's petty. No, I think it's petty because I think it's just a $5 juice, right? It is. But it's like my $5 juice, when you sit it down, it's still my $5 juice. It's like I give away everything else in the whole world. I just gave away an hour and a half worth of free time to this dude who I don't know, and I got to come out and still give more. My premise
y'all wanted to know each other. Y'all.
Phil, I don't.
Back in the day.
I got you. And here's me. There's never been a time where you've come anywhere that I've had where I'm doing something where I've begrudged you anything. Never. Not one time. Never, not one time. Now, for me, it's a simple courtesy of an ask. Regardless of timing, whatever else, you will never, ever see me, even if it was sitting right there. My mama told me, don't touch it if it ain't mine, you ask. We have different understandings. Mi casa is su casa.
Correct.
We didn't mi casa, this ain't my casa, this is my office. That's a product that I sell. That's a product that I have. Now, the other part is, do I debate that you got $5 to pay me for the juice? No, I don't debate that. But is my time worth $5? Is that all it's worth? Because I still got to go to the store. I still got to go buy it. I still got to go replace it. And you didn't know what my plan was for it. Right? I could have been leaving. Just check it out. I could have been leaving right from there to take that to somewhere to go, whatever. And then it would have been, my timing would have been off. My premise is, fam, if you don't know, we ask for forgiveness, but I'm just saying in this space, I recognize it's petty because it's only $5. But it be $5. It is the presumption that I am always available for everyone else's, and I don't necessarily know that always is reciprocal. I'm not saying for you, but I'm saying in general.
I understand. I understand, man. Listen, you gotta go too far. Listen, I was wrong. Tell your audience I was wrong.
No, I want you to let the
ask your audience that. I didn't say that. I didn't say petty. I said, damn, man, was acting funny. I said that to myself.
I said I was petty. I said yesterday because I thought it was going to be a funny segment. I know. I thought it was going to be a funny segment. Then you turned it into something. So I was just going to talk about it from like my cousin's standpoint. Now, it would have never even been this close. Like you wouldn't even been able, no one else in the whole entire universe would have known what the heck we were talking about, because the way it was written, It wasn't about being in the studio, it was about being in the bathroom in my house. But we chose to do it this way. So again, what was supposed to be a funny segment, right, as an example of Quirky Maze, has become what this is, right? Which is what it is. But I will say this.
What you definitely not. Ask your people, because I'm here supporting you. What's that petty? I would love to see your people, because I might have a few people watching. This ain't my platform. Ask your people, do they think I'm petty? I was wrong for opening up your stuff, but I thought I was at home. My fault.
I don't open Carrie's juice at home. Like, real talk. Like, if it's in the refrigerator, and I don't know but Israel, real talk. Like, even the implication of, I thought it was your house, right? Fam, I've extended every level of brotherhood that I possibly have within my realm. And again, I feel like I should be able to put something down, regardless of who comes, in my space, and it be exactly how I left it, regardless. And let me tell you, if you ask me, it's my office. But fam, this is my office, and if you ask me,
you ask me.
All right, callers, give us a call, 872-259-7474. 872-259-74. Bring them down. Am I wrong or right for expecting that nobody opens something in my office without my permission? Go ahead, caller.
Good morning, Byron here.
What's up, Byron?
Hey, it's a beautiful morning. Rain fell, grass is going to get green, and hopefully we get Pritzker out of the office. Now, on this situation you're going on with, all the brother has to do is to say, I'm sorry. You don't go to nobody's place.
He did.
You don't go to... Okay, well, wait, you don't carry on. Just be. I don't know a big word for it. Just be humble and says, Maze is doing us a big favor. Let's not continue. Take the fall. Take the fall, man. Take the fall and go and just ease off the stage for the moment and let's move forward. Right? Take the fall. You cannot go to nobody's place and touch nobody's stuff. You always appreciate when you go to somebody's place and admire them and ask permission for anything you do in that place. It's not yours. You want to do that stuff at your own home. It's that simple. Maze is doing us a big favor. Do not go take this off. Just move off the stage, brother. Move off the stage. Maze is right. But you carrying on. You make it bigger than what it is. You're making it bigger than what it is. Israel, come on. You're doing good work. Continue the good work.
Turn the other one down. Thank you, Byron. I appreciate your call. Turn Bob down. Turn King Israel down. Right? You can't turn his voice. So then you got to put him on pause. Do we got calls? No, you don't got it. Byron, are you done? Okay. Byron is done. Any other calls? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Am I being petty? Was I wrong? No, Bev, we're going to end the show now. So after we end this show, I just want to see if I'm crazy. Like, again, I don't begrudge anybody anything. And if you ask me for it, you can have it. But don't take nothing from me. And even if you got to wait 3 minutes or 15 minutes. And it's like, again, I don't know. Any other calls? That's it. Call you on the Maze Jackson Show.
Maze.
James say, what's up, man? Am I being petty?
Morning, my brother. I got 2 words. Mutual respect. That's what it's all about, bro. No, you are not being petty. I'm just like you, bro. I don't go in my wife's purse. She asked me to go in my purse to get my keys. I picked up the purse and take it to her. Let her go in her own purse. That's mutual respect, bro. I ask my wife for things. I don't just go in there and take it because she's my wife. She's still a human being first. So it's just mutual respect, bro. That's what's wrong with black people now. They feel that, hey, we brothers, we can do whatever we want to do. No. It's respect. It all starts with respect. It's mutual respect. That's it. That's all. Have a nice day, bro.
Thanks, James. I appreciate your call. I feel sort of attacked. Like, I feel like I'm crazy for just saying, like, fam. Like, I give everything. You can have the juice. Take the whole thing, but at least give me the option. Am I crazy for that call? Or you on the Maze Jackson Show? All right, Israel, I'm going to let you get the last word.
Now?
Yep, you got the last word.
I can talk now?
Yep.
Hey, folks, the 2 brothers just spoke. I got high respect for them, too. Especially the brother that you say you be hearing him calling on the other station, Byron. I be hearing him think. I be playing things from the high perspective. It's my fault for opening your stuff. I told you that. But I got thirsty. So I said, I thought in my mind, you wouldn't mind. So that's over with. I'm done with that.
Okay. We done.
So you said petty and you said, no, listen, but you got to say I'm a name anonymous. Like you being my brother. I ain't talking about your callers. My brother that I even say live for. I said, I'm going to call in and say I did it. You was going to keep it anonymous. And you man, just like that. Because I know we got bigger fish to fry. I'm just sitting here with David Dong on some issues. You know what I'm saying? He ran out the damn room and he said, I'm going to talk to you. Because I think he got something to do with that project on 24th and something. See, me and you might don't have the same friends, like 2 of your buddies just called in, but we got the damn same enemy. And them 2 brothers on the phone, too, that be calling VON and you and all that. Viper. I listen to everything. I be playing shit stuff from the highway to the byways. I be watching, but I haven't been talking much. So I'm coming out the blue now. King Bob Israel said it. They're like Maze said, Bob said. It's not a damn secret. I ain't playing but throwing a rock and hide in my hand. Just like I said, if Riis want to go to that event, just scratch out the P and put an F. So he's Bob here. Bob said, I got to read some laugh jokes there. You my man. I love you.
I know, man. That's why you wouldn't just...
And I wouldn't open your juice no more. Do I'm buy your whole damn case.
I don't want a case. It be don't have nowhere to
No,
start.
it's about respect, because I used to live with a woman like that. The man just said a woman. I'm like, yeah, this lady's crazy. No, just ask for myself. And it's supposed to be my woman. Damn, I can't even go to the refrigerator to get a juice again. I said, don't do the juice. So I'm like, damn, I wasn't raised like that. And that's my fault. I've been on the streets since I was 5 years old. That's 50 years of these Chicago streets. I ain't been nowhere else. No disrespect to Bolingbrook, Joliet, New Mexico. I've been in Chicago on this street 50 years. I don't know politics like you know, but I'm learning. And they tricked my mama with that Democratic Party stuff. That's another reason I'm behind you. Get rid of this Democrat, Tammy Duckworth, Prisk, all of them chumps need to go. Like I said, to check the Speaker of the House for Cassandra, ask Cassandra. I'm like, dude, you let that white man do? Oh, that was over there in the Senate to say. I ain't gonna switch the subject. Maze, I never open none of yours again. For those in the back, and I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I'm an independent gangster.
I heard that. And Israel, let me say this. You can open it. Just ask me. You know what I'm saying? I got something for you. All right, y'all.
I already know that, man. I just got
try to
super
buy
thirsty.
extra. I just buy extra just so I can have something to give away. I just like to be asked.
My
That's
time
all.
to put too. You know how many millionaires I made out here? Made millionaires. You think I asked them for something? So I know you ain't petty.
I know.
I think none of that South West shit move.
Definitely.
I'm saying I'm on a whole nother level. My fault, family. I'd never do it again for those in the back.
My need. That's why I love you, Israel. All right, he ain't gonna get the last word.
I love you too.
He ain't gonna get the last word because now you got callers. Thank you, Israel. We appreciate you. I'm gonna take your calls and then we're gonna wrap this thing up.
I guess that was a real episode on the barbershop where they said, "Who talk about you sitting in a refrigerator?"
Hey, go ahead. This is the
Hey, I had to call, but I had to call back. Maze, a juice, bro. Your time is so good. You got a plan to go get a juice.
Yes,
even if you was going to do something, you can't just stop at get a cranberry juice, bro.
Femo. Let me tell you. So you talking about, but listen to me, because you talking about a juice as in a single serving, right? No, I have a specific thing that we do. If you look on social media, you see every week I talk about we have Bloody Marys and margaritas. Right? So I shop for 2 weeks worth of groceries, not for my personal, but for our business opportunity. Right. So if you go inside of the cabinet, if you go inside my cabinet, right, and I only go to the grocery warehouse store once every 2 weeks, and you take off my inventory, and then you be like, oh, well, just go get another. Go ahead.
Okay, was it like a carton? I mean, like a big jug of juice? Or was it was. Just small?
No, it was the big jug.
Okay, so did he drink out the whole big thing, or did he get a glass of it?
Femo, it's open. Because can I tell you something? We don't open up. We don't start with an unfished bottle, right? It's like, again, every week. This is me, Jake. The thing for me is this. The thing for me is this, right? And it used to be a 25-cent newspaper. Jake, I would buy 2 newspapers so that nobody would uncrack mine. Like if I would go buy 2 of the same magazine so that there's one at the office that anybody can go through and flip. But when I open my magazine, that is my pleasure, right? I want to turn the pages. I want to crack it. I want to do it. Look, Jake, you know I give everything to the people. Everything. Like that juice, I promise you, on Sunday, somebody would be one of the people that we're talking to would be drinking that juice, if not my man. But don't make me go to the You don't know what my plan is. I'm not it does seem very simple. But hey, Femo.
You ain't that busy, bro.
Hey,
you ain't that bro. You ain't that busy. Because I know the show about it. I think he did you a solid by bringing up a dude. I don't think it was for advertisement. It was for your audience, to get another perspective. That's all. I think he was doing that a solid for you or for the people, because I looked at it. I didn't see you say, so I looked at it because I wanted to see what he got to say, because I think it was a good guest for your show.
Jake, I don't think there was any.
I think it was a fair exchange. I think it was good for your audience. I think it was good to get another perspective instead of your audience. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That he gave a great show, white boy, and that. And what he was saying is the truth about the Democratic Party.
I'm getting ganged up about it.
Israelites.
The Israelites had me. The Israelites had me. They gonna gang up on me.
Hey, Riis. just because you're a little wax soul, I love being black, and he's talking about the boys, man. He just living it on his knowledge. Kept the game up, sir, but shalom.
Hey, shalom. That's good stuff, man. I've enjoyed this conversation. He really ruined my pettiness, though, because I really was just trying to do it for fun. And, you know, I think people be I don't think he's worried, but I think it was a more of a funny thing, because I do realize I'm quirky. Right. I'm quirky.
Y'all don't hear me? Huh? Who drank my goddamn apple juice?
Oh, Terry. Stop cussing. This ain't Def Comedy Jam.
I put a big ass red
Terry,
sign.
stop cussing. Tell him, man.
I put a big red sign said, "Do not drink me."
Maybe no one drank it. Maybe it evaporated.
Maybe I'm about to slap you. Don't get on my bad side. You ain't been here nothing but a minute. I will chew your white
Girl, it
ass
ain't
up.
like you talking about a bottle of Hennessy and nothing. You talking about some funky ass
This
apple
is
juice.
my funky ass bottle of apple juice. I don't touch nobody else's stuff around here. What?
That's how you feel, man. You don't touch
Oh, now hold up. Now.
Why you touch my apple juice? You touch my apple
Hey, man, that's how it be, man.
That's how it be, man. I'm sorry it was Terry, but I'm just saying, like, yo, it's all good. Now, I'm not mad. I did feel away yesterday, though. I ain't gonna even tell y'all the backstory, though, because the backstory was funny. That really was classic. I ain't gonna even do it, but that was funny. Hey, man. All right, y'all. This is the Maze Jackson Show, where we can be petty. We can match petty. This is the Maze Jackson Show. Every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? If you don't like it, you can still tell them. Oh, for Maze, Riis, and Ruthie. If you don't like it, you can still tell them. Maze said, we out of here. Peace.
Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let the bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gon' sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.